Good evening and welcome to the Good Faith Podcast, where we maneuver around debauchery, attempting to find harmony with our fellow man and unpack degeneracy. I'm your host, Ninja Bullet. We understand you could have been a million other places, and the time's the most precious commodity any of us have. So from the bottom of our heart, we'd like to share our gratitude with you. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. Due to the sensitive nature of some of our topics, we hope you will shield youngins from some of the vulgarity that may be spewed here. It must be noted that the views expressed by the panel are not necessarily the views of the Good Faith Podcast, and we are not liable for any results incurred by the utilization of our advice, nor are we a fiduciary and assume no culpability of investment performance as a result of following our financial advice. Our simple aim is to entertain and inform. Anybody living in the greater Philadelphia area interested in making an appearance on our show can reach me in a DM on Facebook or Instagram at Christopher Bulick. See our Patreon link in the description if you'd like to make a campaign contribution to facilitate our meteoric rise. As a candidate of the people, I solemnly swear I won't misappropriate the funds. I won't spend them at Myrtle Beach golf courses. I won't gas up a corporate jet to fly to Tulum. I won't fund arms dealers in the Middle East with Stinger missiles and Harrier jets. I won't buy stupid shit.
I open a savings account in your name. That way, 500 years later, it'll be worth billions. Billions.
Oh, I like mine.
In all seriousness, times are tough, and any proceeds we receive will be going towards avoiding eviction, keeping the lights on, medicating Clark with all of his health concerns, and feeding our gracious guests. Once again, if you feel that you've been given value by us, it takes a little extra effort to like and subscribe. This is your notification that the Good Faith Podcast is now available on not only YouTube, but Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcasts, Listen Notes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and RSS.com. We'll continue pushing out these episodes so long as our following continues to grow. Here's a special shout out to our faraway friends in San Diego, San Jose, Cheyenne, Nebraska, Chattanooga, Atlanta, Lexington, Kansas City, South Bend, Richmond, D.C., Montreal, Harrisburg, Albany, and New York City. You guys fill my heart with joy every time I see y'all pop up on the map. So if you'd be so kind, chat while we're live, let us know where you're living, and we'll try and target your demographic with content specific to you. The path to notoriety will be for our listeners to spread the good word of the pod. If you have somebody in mind who would agree with our content, may be informed, or even if you want to ridicule us, send a link to your friends and family. All publicity is good publicity. Our objective is to have balance between the red and the blue. So if you have somebody in mind who enjoys listening to pods, please spread our channel. Trini, do you want to read this one? Can you see it?
Not really.
If you're interested in joining our movement, we represent the hashtag IRYOBYOAWMO movement. That stands for I respect you only because your opinion aligns with my own. It's okay to show love and tolerance to anybody with an aligned opinion. Feel free to disrespect anybody whose opinion doesn't mirror yours and to treat them with bratty toxicity. After all, respect is only earned by somebody with an identical belief system as your own. Hashtag IRYOBYOAWMO. What does that stand for?
Hear you, Yamo.
All right, so I'm trying to make this a like a inspirational podcast to those. And I think there's like two brands of self-help. There's like Mel Robbins self-help, like you are enough. You're good enough just the way you are. You know, you have to love yourself. You have to accept yourself. And then there's like David Goggins self-help, which is like, you're your own biggest obstacle. You're a bitch. You got to kill that weak shit. Like, you're not good enough. Nobody loves you. Nobody's here to save you. So like, I want to be more like David Goggins, but you know, it's my objective that this pod will be like audio celery stalks and carrot sticks, not like biscuits and fried chicken smothered in gravy. Like we're gonna be like we're gonna be like something healthy for you to listen to, not like comfort food for your ears. You know, I always want to prioritize the nutritional value of our prescriptions over the comfort they provide. So with that being said, do you guys prefer comfortable lies or uncomfortable truths?
Who are you asking first?
No, I'll just go that way.
What was the question?
Do you prefer comfortable lies or uncomfortable truths?
Oh, I would probably prefer an uncomfortable truth rather than a comfortable lie.
Okay. Chris?
Yeah. Uncomfortable truth.
Uncomfortable truth. Okay.
Give it to me straight, right?
Yep. Journey.
Same thing. Uncomfortable truth.
Uncomfortable truth.
Don't
Okay.
lie to me, bitch.
You can't handle the truth.
Now, all right. So we're all in agreement then. Let's introduce everybody on the panel. So I want you to start with your name, your age, your occupation, and your highest level of education completed.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Dirty Dan. I am 32. I work at a produce and garden center. I'm about to sell Christmas trees. And what was the last one?
Highest level of education completed.
And I have my GED.
All right. And Chris?
Chris, I'm 40. Self-employed carpenter, I suppose, restoration carpenter. And highest level of education, bachelor's.
Okay.
I'm Cherney. I'm 32. My occupation is an account services rep at a credit union, and my highest level education is a bachelor's.
Okay. And I am Chris, or Ninja. My age is 33. My occupation, I was thinking about this today. I mean, on the books, I have
Label it.
on the books, I have 2 jobs as a life skills coach for a private school for autistic kids, and a face painter and photographer for the Philadelphia Eagles. And then off the books, I'm like a podcast host. I hope that this one day, brings me a lot of money. I am a e-commerce vendor. I like sell, I buy shit
Adding
and sell-
more.
buy shit and sell shit. I actually that's where all these neons come from, and then I am I'm a value investor. Like that's I've made a little bit of money doing it, so it's kind of like a job. Like if you want to be successful at it, you can't just only look at it every now and again.
What are you selling on eBay?
Yeah, it's called Mercari. It's pretty much like eBay, but
Okay.
not as well known.
Okay.
And my highest level of education completed is a liberal arts degree, a associate's degree. So now, can I hear your relationship status and your longest relationship?
I am divorced. And my longest relationship was 9 years.
Okay.
I'm separated, and 12 almost a 12-year marriage, and we were together for 20 years.
Wow.
Mm.
I'm single and 7 years.
Okay. And I am single, and my longest relationship was 3 years. Now, can I hear your orientation?
Oh, I am heterosexual.
All right.
Yeah, straight.
Heterosexual and demisexual.
And I am heterosexual. I think once again, I want to stress the vast differences between can and do. So many, I really appreciate you guys for being on this podcast. So many times, I talk to people and I get I'll let you know. Yeah, I can. Soon. But this week doesn't work for me. If you're one of those people, you're a fucking hoe. There's just a difference between not being able to and letting me know, or saying I will let you know, and then just blanking me. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I appreciate everyone for being here. Everybody here, is I asked them, and it's yeah, I'll be there. Not I'll let you know. Not yeah, I should be able to. It's very it's very very supportive to just be of your word, be dependable.
You want the uncomfortable truth.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say comfortable.
I heard
stopped
that.
myself. I was it's very comfortable.
Oh, not that word.
Um,
That's banned.
So we got a couple of ground rules, guys. First rule is respect. The Good Faith Podcast endeavors to harbor a culture of respect. Although some topics may be contentious in nature, it's of paramount importance that a general good faith exists between us. It's perfectly acceptable to attack another's opinion or mentality, but ad hominem attacks are strictly prohibited. Rule number 2 is honesty. Upon your arrival on the show, it's expected of you not to be deliberately obstinate. Due to the complex discussions that we embark on, a certain level of creativity and imagination is necessary. The above withstanding, you may be asked to step outside of your worldview and think of things from a hypothetical perception, and if asked to, a stubborn, I don't know, or deeply entrenched failure to conceive alternative ideas is harmful to the good spirit of healthy conversation. Rule number 3 is trust. We trust that our guests on the panel will refrain from any hate speech, ill will towards celebrities, particular demographics, and any other general avoidance of anything that can be considered a violation of the terms of services on the platforms and publishers that we choose to post on. Nudity is strictly prohibited, and in efforts to preserve our reputation, we request that guests of the show avoid intolerant language like calling Italians wops, Guidos, greaseballs, guineas, or calling the Irish mix, or that's the only Irish slang that I know.
All leprechauns.
Julian said, I'm here for the nudity.
We don't have that.
Hey Joey, how you doing, buddy? But yeah, the only WAP that I want to hear on this show is wet ass pussy.
Said, I find that offensive. I'm a mix.
Okay, so you're appropriately walking, which means your pH levels are perfectly balanced. Eat it up, Edward. Get the charge.
All jokes aside, I really do detest the use of the F word, the N word, and the R word. El Gato may chime in with popular culture sound bites and may even go as far as dropping an N bomb. But if you'll note, they, them are black. It's their word. Rule number 4 is consideration. Nobody wants to listen to some diatribe by one person except this one. And so please consider the air of the room. We ask that all members contribute equally in their communications and have a somewhat internal clock when speaking. If you're getting ushered to a swift conclusion, it may sound something like this.
You're fucking done, son. You're done. You're done.
You're making a mess. You either do it right or you don't do it.
But I want to do it.
You're done. You are done.
Rule number 5 is fun. The 5th rule is to have fun. We aim at the Good Faith Podcast to build a culture of fun and debate in an attempt to reach across the aisle and perhaps educate and learn things from the many walks of life. Remember, only boring people get bored. We have a P.O. box for our complaints and grievance department. It's 123 up your ass. Go fuck yourself. Seriously, we do endeavor to create a safe space for constructive feedback, and we'll consider all complaints and grievances. Finally, a philosophy of curiosity is welcome. Instead of criticizing a viewpoint you don't understand, please seek to understand it. And our final rule, rule number 6, is integrity. Mean what you say and say what you mean. If you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. Prattle isn't helpful towards providing a prescription for helping folks. A lot of the conversational topics are phrased in a binary form, like would you rather this or that. While the nature of most opinions falls somewhere in the middle of two extremes, we ask you to please try and identify which pole you lean towards. The purpose of this is because we aim to graph data based on our findings, and well, you can't graph, I don't know, it's a little bit of both. So if the question is which is better with peanut butter, jelly, or chocolate, I don't know, they're both so good, isn't adequate. So, with that being said, which was a worse trade? Brittany Griner for the Merchant of Death, or Deshaun Watson for 3 first-round picks and paying him $200 million guaranteed? Do you know who these people are?
No idea.
Do you know who these people are? You definitely know Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Do you know who Brittany Griner is?
Bring this question.
Brittany Grinder?
Brittany Griner. She was
Ryan
a.
Migdalin said, sports is bred in circuses. I'm out.
Brittany Griner was a WNBA player,
Still.
and yeah, and she went to Russia because she claimed she wasn't getting paid enough. So in the
Oh, yeah.
offseason, went to
There were a lot
Russia.
of players that did that.
Yeah, but she brought a weed pen on an airplane, and the Russians like threw her in a fucking gulag. And
I heard the story.
And yeah, and we traded. We had this like warlord in our custody,
Right.
and we ended up trading his freedom for her freedom.
Right.
So, which having heard that, I guess you don't know who Deshaun Watson is whatsoever, do you? He was a really promising quarterback for the Houston Texans. There was a string of allegations that he was getting like rub and tugs from the physical therapy team in Houston. Like I don't know, 20 or 30 of these masseuses claimed that he was like exposing himself and forcing them to stroke his salami. So he got
stroke his pork sword.
Yeah. So they released him, and then he went to the Browns, and then the Browns acquired him, and they gave up like 3 first-round picks and paid him $200 million, and he's like trash. He's played like maybe I don't know, 15 games in 2 years with them.
Too many rub and tugs.
So who do we think is a worse trade?
I mean, they're both pretty bad, but probably the Merchant of Death.
Okay. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I think for the warlord, right?
Yeah, like that's gotta be the worst one.
But that's pretty extreme, throwing her in the gulag.
It is. I agree.
For a
Like I agree,
weekend.
she didn't deserve to
Nah,
be there, but
Definitely
like
not.
she just shouldn't have been there. Why? Like she should have stayed out of Russia. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she was making more money than probably all 4 of us combined. I would assume. You know, probably making like $750,000 a year
In the WNBA?
Yeah,
Is that how much they make?
I could be wrong. But
The top players make like 200,000.
okay, and she is like she is
Yeah.
like a top player in the WNBA, right?
Yeah,
Not like she's young. Like she's been in the WNBA for a long time.
I think she came out like 2016. It's not
Okay.
that old.
But she's probably making like around $200,000 a year.
Yeah, I think so. I think it might be like 158 or something. But
Okay.
either way,
Still,
it's a decent amount.
yeah, like she could live if she were to be living within her means. She could do it at $150,000 a year.
WNBA has some pull.
Yeah, they have the NBA back.
Yeah. All right. So what we have here is the delusion calculator. So, and Dan, I know you've done this a couple of times, and you've said that you've been like, trying to, embellish your answers and stuff. I want you to try and answer this as honestly and truthfully as you can. Okay.
I only ever fucking pulled everybody's chain the first time.
That was okay. Gotcha. Well, that was a dirty trick, and I don't want you to...
Well, he's Dirty Dan.
Which one of you fellers is the real Dirty Dan?
Don't be pulling our legs, all right?
I actually said yanking a chain.
All right. You ready for this? Do you want a man or a woman?
Woman.
Okay. Do they want kids? Either yes or no.
Yes.
Age range.
Gonna go 18 to 30.
Okay. Height range.
5 foot to 5'7".
Okay. Minimum income.
I don't know, like 40,000.
40,000. Pretty good. Like I'm. Ethnicity. I'd be thrilled with a girl who made $40,000 a year.
Ebony.
Yo, I ain't gonna hate one bit. Hair color. I love how you say ebony too.
Ebony and Ivory.
What'd you say? Black?
Black,
Not any?
not black.
What if
How you were
like,
messing with us the first time?
He
Sounds
like-
pretty similar.
he loves a black girl. Ebony, sorry. Eye color. Brown. Education.
Doesn't matter. Any?
Religion.
None.
Okay. Wait.
Is that an option?
You want no?
Like,
Don't you want an atheist?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yeah. Why? There's something. Why?
we gotta get atheists.
What? What?
Fine. Agnostic.
That's fine. I don't
Really?
think it's listed, is it?
It's. I'd consider it atheist. Really? Wait. Did I ask everybody what their religion was? Did I accidentally delete that?
Maybe.
Oh shit!
Or you skipped over it.
Can I hear you guys' spiritual beliefs?
I believe in the Lord of Lords. Henceforth, I am a Viking.
And so wait, so you want an atheist? You would not tolerate a woman who was also a pagan?
I mean, I would, but yeah, paganism.
I don't
so-
think that's an option though.
So either paganism or atheism, but you will not tolerate a Jew. You will not tolerate a Christian or a Muslim.
Not really, because what
Okay.
are they're going to preach to me about?
Well, I don't have to be like devout or.
Yeah. Do you think I preached to you?
I'd like to imagine an ebony bacon.
Like
You're already at
Valkyrie from
0%.
Thor. All right. We will say
Valkyries
atheist.
actually were ebony.
Okay. Interesting. Smoker, either yes or no?
No.
No. Really? I don't know where my smoker
Smoke.
soundbite went. It's like
I'm doing for you.
it's very
Smoke.
very gratuitous as well. No smoker. Drinker, either yes or no?
No.
Exclude married women, or do you want to wreck a home?
Exclude.
Do you want to exclude obese women, or do you like the shade that they provide in the summer and the warmth that they provide in the winter?
Exclude.
Okay, let's find out how delusional you are. 0.0034%.
There it is. There's that person.
That's 5,723 women that fit your criteria out of the 168,310,216 American women. That's like you're
5,000.
fucking delulu. You'll never meet her.
I mean, she's out there somewhere.
That's like 100 per state.
That's what it said. It said she's out there somewhere. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah,
It's that yellow dot right there.
Yeah. All right, Chris, you are up. Do you want a man or a woman?
Woman.
Okay. Does she want kids? Either yes or no?
No.
No. Age range.
I guess 35 to 45.
Wait, how old are you again?
40.
40.
40. Okay. And you said 35 to 45?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Height range.
Yeah, 5'6" to 5 foot.
5 foot to 5'6". Minimum income.
30, 40 would be good.
Which do you want to go with, 30 or 40?
Yeah, 40.
40?
In the middle, 35.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Ethnicity.
That doesn't really matter.
Hair color.
That doesn't matter.
Eye color.
That's why you have to change them back then.
That doesn't matter.
Education level. Minimum education.
I want a ditch, you know.
You want to
You do want one?
No, she's
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
no, absolutely not.
So there's no maximum though.
I think at least a high school, some type of schooling.
Okay.
Yeah,
Religion.
I would be open to
Any?
any religion. Yeah,
Okay. Smoker. Either yes or no.
no, because I want to quit smoking, so that would help. That would help.
So if like you met the perfect girl and she was a smoker, you're a smoker, you're.
Oh yeah,
alright?
yeah. Well, okay, we'll smoke some cigarettes together.
You want to go with either?
Yeah, you
Okay.
could do either. Yeah.
Alright. Drinker. Either yes or no.
Nah.
Okay. Exclude married women.
Yeah.
Yeah, and exclude obese women.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a 0.078% chance.
That's more than twice the amount.
That's 131,282 women out of the 168,310,216 American women.
Sorry, that's 20 times as much as Dan's.
But still, like, I think the reason why I'm doing this is because I want people to try and cast a wide net. Get those numbers at least up to 1%. That means like out of every 100 women you encounter, one of them fits your standards.
You're telling me I got a shot.
I feel like that's
Everybody says that every episode. Churney, men or women?
Women.
Wants kids.
Either.
Age range.
21 to 40.
21, 40. Height range.
4'6" to 6'6".
4'6" to 6'6".
About the tiny one.
6'6".
That's a little bit.
Well, I'm right in the middle of that.
Minimum income.
40,000. Yeah.
Ethnicity.
Any.
Hair color.
Any.
Eye color.
Any.
Education.
High school.
Religion.
Any.
Smoker.
No.
Drinker.
Either.
Exclude married women.
Yes.
Exclude obese women.
Yes.
You got a 0.74% chance. That's one. You got at least 1 million to pick from. 1,245,496 women out of the 168,310,216 American women.
I got 2 dots.
Yo, watch. I'm gonna post the high score here.
Okay.
I want a woman.
Are you cheating?
No. I want a woman. She wants kids. Age range 18 to 26.
No, I don't think you're winning.
Height range 4'6" to 5'6". Minimum income, I'd be okay with 30,000. Ethnicity, any. Hair color, any. Eye color, any. Education, sure, we'll do high school. Religion, any. I'd be fine with the tits.
All right, then do it.
Smoker.
Is this supposed to be a hard limit, right? It's not a hard limit.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. If she was like
making your numbers go up,
like if she was useful and she had like a good work ethic, like she doesn't need to tell me Einstein's third relativity of matter or whatever.
That's not a thing.
Drinking, either. Exclude married women, yes. Exclude obese women, yes. Bam, 1.6, motherfucker.
All right. It's because I helped you with education.
You're probably right. That's 2,692,963 women out of the 168,310,216 women in America. So, do you guys think there's any other criteria that would be important in this calculator?
Yeah, common interests.
Okay, you say common interests.
That's like the biggest one for me.
What if she has many common interests, but not all of the common
They don't have
interests?
to be all. I just like at least one, or at least one of my main 3.
Okay.
I highly doubt there's a chick that's going to want to go skateboarding and surfing with me.
That doesn't sound too rare. I think there's
I
a
think
lot
there's
of
a
adventurous
correlation
ladies.
in it too.
Well, I highly doubt an ebony chick would. Let me rephrase that.
That's racist.
Maybe.
Is it? If I want one?
But usually, if someone's into surfing or skateboarding, they're usually into the other.
I think another extremely important one is their sexuality. Or these people, these people aren't necessarily even heterosexual. Some of these people are not even interested in your entire gender. So that takes away that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really quantify
You're saying they're less than 1%.
Yeah, all of us are
Yeah.
all of us are far underneath these numbers. I think attractiveness, you can't quantify attractiveness, but there's probably a bunch in in these numbers that are hideous that we would find absolutely unattractive. What else could there be? Do you have any thoughts of what could also be?
Not like he said, like sports activities.
I think
attitude.
Some of these could be just bitter, crotchety bitches.
Like people who compromise.
I think this does not have children. I would not be really interested in a woman that was like a single mother.
Or people that like want the same things as you in life, like people that aren't expecting you to make 100,000 a year or something. People that are more grounded, down to earth type.
Yeah, like I'm sure some of these ladies in this population expect like a six-figure, 6 foot tall man with a six pack and shit. They're just like totally delulu. You know what I mean? All right. Any other criteria that we might have missed? Okay. Going once, going twice.
Sold.
I want you guys to tell me, first of all, do all of you have a role model?
Not really.
Okay.
What would Jesus do?
Is Jesus your role model?
Yeah, I'd like to think.
Okay. What about you, Dirty Dan?
Do I have?
Ripan said, a woman who is breathing might be recommended.
I don't think it includes dead people in there. So.
Do I have a role model? I mean, not particularly.
Because I was going to ask you guys who's your role model, but you can't say your parents, except it sounds like we don't really have any role models. Do you think that's a problem that none of us have role models? I mean, I have like role models, I think, but
it's probably nice to have, but I don't think it's a necessity or really a problem.
Who do you learn from? Are you just going about this by yourself?
I learn from many people. I don't idolize any of them.
Well, how do you you don't have to idolize your role model, but how do you?
Isn't that kind of the whole point of a role model? Is you idolize them?
It's like just a mentor, like somebody who shows you how to do stuff, so you're not just like
that would be
engineering your own
that would
future.
Basically just be my teachers and my bosses and my parents. So
okay, all right. Well, I think I'd say like my role models are like the billionaires like Bill Gates. And
did they personally teach you how to?
No, like a role model doesn't necessarily have to. Well, that's what you were saying. Like that is
they have to teach you.
Like they could. Yeah. Well, like Warren Buffett has taught me things. He has never spoken to me directly, but I've still learned from his teaching.
Okay, what did you learn from?
I've learned that value investing is a very lucrative profession, especially if you have the patience, and if you do the opposite of what everybody does, don't buy into like hysteria, and to kind of just when everybody's jumping out of a stock, that's the time to jump in, and vice versa.
Unless it's like going bankrupt.
Well, yeah, but he's. I mean, I've learned so much from Warren Buffett. I could talk for the next 3 hours and not even discuss everything that he has taught the world. He's like the greatest to ever do it. You know what I mean? So, do you guys know who Riley Reid and Lana Rhoades are?
Yes.
He's like, yes, I did. Do you think they're good role models?
Who are they?
I mean,
they're porn stars.
They're porn stars. They get like railed in the ass and shit,
Not anymore. They don't.
I mean,
so what has recently happened is they have both retired from their profession.
Yeah, but they still both suck dick on OnlyFans.
No. Well, no, like they both have gotten married and they're trying to start a family, and they have a desire to have all their content scrubbed from the internet permanently. To which I say, do you know how the internet works, lady? Like, you can't do that.
The thing about it is, like, I mean, who would they be good role models for? The real
Uh,
question is maybe they're role models to some people, but at the end of the day, that'd be like saying, what the fuck's his name? Fucking that fucking one dude, big, fat, ugly one.
That's helpful.
70s porn star mustache.
Ron
Jeremy.
Ron
you're talking
Jeremy.
about?
That'd be like saying, "Oh, Ron Jeremy's my fucking man." Or
He probably is. To
or
some people.
Danny fucking Daniels. You know?
Yo, Ron Jeremy's a goat.
Didn't he go to jail for like some sexual assault charges?
Really? I
I'm
didn't know
pretty
that.
sure he did.
I didn't know that at all. I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, there was that one porn star. I forget what his name was. Like, he told his wife he was going to stop doing porn or whatever, and then fucking he didn't stop, and she like cut his fucking dong.
Oh, that
off.
was Bobbitt.
Elena Bobbitt, are you talking about?
Yeah, Elena Bobbitt and
Yeah.
That's like messed up.
John Wayne Bobbitt.
It's messed up because like that dude's like a punchline to like jokes
Mhm.
and shit that like women tell each other, like, oh, cut his dick off like Elena Bobbitt. But like if there was a guy that like cut off his wife's like titties, like he'd be public enemy number one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they would be like,
He had a porn business after that. Like he like leaned into it.
I think he got like a penis
Yeah,
reattached.
well, he got
to him,
his
right?
penis reattached.
It's crazy, dude.
Wow.
Do you guys think that there is such thing as a hoe phase?
A hoe face?
Can there be such thing as a hoe phase for a person?
I mean, kind of like when you're younger.
So,
Did you not have a hoe phase?
no, I never had a hoe phase. Like
Okay. Oh yeah, you're just a hoe in general. I forgot.
well, yeah, like, all right, like, do you think that if I go on a serial axe murdering spree, I could chalk it up as like, oh, that was my murdering phase?
No, because it's a different
Like
thing.
once you
That's
axe
completely
once
different.
you are an axe murderer, you
So-
are permanently.
So once you have sex, once you're a hoe.
No, I don't
Then
think
what,
that having sex.
what is the comparison here?
I don't think that having sex makes you a hoe.
Then what? How are you comparing it to murdering?
Like if you have a
It's not
ton
the
of
same.
sex, are you a hoe?
But if you have one murder, you're a murderer. So that's completely different.
Okay, so if you
You're not a serial murderer yet, but you're a murderer.
so what makes you a hoe?
I think
don't know,
being
I guess
easy.
having a bunch of numbers, but
What's a bunch of numbers?
but if you only do it, is Rye a hoe? Didn't he have a hoe phase?
I don't think so. Not really. No.
I thought you like told me that he did.
Not any time where he
Alright.
was like putting up like fucking Babe Ruth numbers or like Barry
Okay,
Bonds
so he has to
numbers,
be
like-
the top hoe to be the hoe.
Like
Like,
I think it's
or to
all
have a hoe phase.
it's all relative. I'm sure.
Or what about Peanut? Peanut, you said had a hoe
No,
phase.
no.
What do you mean?
Peanut
You
didn't have a
definitely
phase
told
at
me
all.
this.
No, he didn't.
All right.
Speaking of Peanut, I gotta see if he's watching.
You gotta check it.
Chris, what do you think? What do you think qualifies a hoe? Like you said being easy. What is easy?
I think it stems from being insecure, and then just you need others' attention, so you'll seek it wherever.
Okay.
So then, once you get that, are you no longer a hoe? Like, are you? I guess when you find someone, you're then with that person, so that,
You could become
Yeah.
attached. Yeah.
or is it just that you're forever a hoe and you're always gonna do that? Like,
Once a cheater, always a
Yeah,
cheater,
like
right?
you can't turn
but
a hoe
hoeing
into
isn't
a housewife.
cheater. Hoeing isn't cheating, really. It's just
It's like
Unless
cheating
you're in a
cheating
relationship.
is hoeing for sure.
Yeah.
Like if you
not if
cheat,
you're not in a relationship.
how do you cheat if you're not in a relationship?
Hookup culture. Are you kidding?
That's not cheating though. That's
exactly. That's hoeing.
There's actually a song that goes, "You can't make a housewife out of a hoe."
Yeah. Wait, what song are you talking about? The newer one?
The whiny one.
You put out a piece of me, and now I bleed internally. Like
Yeah.
little
Oh wait,
devil.
no, I was thinking about like don't trust a hoe.
Talking about three
Don't
O's?
trust a hoe.
Oh,
Don't
303.
trust
No. That's actually a different one. Can't make a housewife out of a hoe.
Mhm.
So there you go.
You can't.
I do not think so. I think it's risky business to try
Okay.
and convert a hoe. I think it's
my
very
brother, my
risky.
brother keeps trying to make a housewife out of a hoe. You know? my brother Josh, like he'll sit there and like try to make this chick like fucking his wife or whatever, and then she'll be like, yo, Danny, I want you to fuck me. Dead ass. All jokes aside.
I need to get that soundbite of like, what is it, the Goonies, where he's like, come on, you're gonna live with me now because I love you. That's what I imagine.
Everybody know that big dick.
But seriously, like, do some choices have permanent ramifications on your soul? I know.
I don't believe in the soul.
Everybody know that's Big Dick B.
These don't even have dicks. It's a stinger.
Like I think axe murdering has a permanent ramification on your soul. Do you even believe in souls? Do you guys believe in souls, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like your spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Do you think that do you think that a certain amount of penises just kind of like eat away at your soul, or if you like
do a certain amount of vaginas eat at your soul?
Sure, I'm sure. Yeah, like if you like get to a certain point, it loses all it loses all of its luster, and you probably, I would imagine.
What if it's the same one over and over again?
Then no, like that's like
why it's a
that's committed monogamy.
Okay,
like,
but
no,
that's what. Why is having a certain amount like bad for your soul?
Well, do you know what like pair bonding is from like a scientific standpoint?
Pair bonding? You mean like being monogamous?
Well, like human beings emit, I think, a neurotransmitter. I think it's
sounds like a brain thing.
What is it? It's oxytocin. Human beings emit oxytocin when they have sex.
Well, there's a lot of things like
and
epinephrine.
It yeah, but oxytocin is like the neurotransmitter that makes you like feel all like warm and cuddly with your.
Well, there's like different effects, but they all are like endorphins is another one. Like they all are pleasurable or like it stimulates your brain.
Yeah, well, like human beings, the more they have sex with different people, the less oxytocin that they release. We're all kind of like sticky notes. Like if you put a sticky note on a surface, the first time it's like really sticky and really adhesive. You peel it off, you stick it on another surface, it's a little bit less adhesive. By the like 14th surface that you stick it on, it's just kind of like falling off there, you know.
They get less floppy.
That's like saying one dick over and over again. That's not saying like multiple dicks over and over again.
No, but like you
if you have the same dick over and over again, it would get less sticky in this analogy.
No, because if you're
ripping the sticky note off, but your analogy doesn't make sense.
Well, the science does make sense. Is that like people who have sex with the same partner over and over again show the same amount of oxytocin that is released, but when they have sex with a bunch of different partners,
I would call that your brain. I wouldn't call that your soul.
Okay, well, the brain, like the soul resides in the brain, you know, like. Otherwise, like,
do people believe that?
Do you think that people have personalities, or are they just a bunch of
the personalities from your brain?
Is it just a culmination of like neurotransmitters and
it's also
synapses
from outside effects on the person? Yeah.
On what though?
It all goes.
What is your personality? Is it just
it's your brain?
It's just so
it has outside factors that change it, but it's still all coming from your brain.
But it's not really like anything special. Like people don't have unique personalities. They're
different from.
They're just reflections of their life experiences and how their brain chemistry works. But do you think
nothing is just one thing?
Do you think a personality is an actual thing?
What do you mean?
Do you think a personality is real?
Yeah, there's literally 16 personality types.
But you do not believe that souls are real?
Yeah, soul isn't a personality.
What's the difference?
A personality is just part of your brain. If you want to say the soul is just your brain, then sure, I'll believe in souls. But that's not what most people call a soul.
I do, like, I kind of do think it is.
Okay.
I think your soul is basically just your personality, but I mean, if you believe in the realm of the spirit, which I know that you don't, it kind of is able to be transferred before and after life and death, but
I don't think a personality comes from the brain.
Where does it come from?
do you think it comes from experience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Which is
like, if
affecting
you
your
sit
brain.
there and you think about it, like, so Eeyore, like, was the depression, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, depression comes from the brain, which is not a personality trait. It's actually something that's a chemical imbalance in your brain. And then you go Piglet, who was anxiety, and then you have Winnie the Pooh, who was a glutton, you know what I mean? Which are all chemical imbalances in the brain. Me personally, I think that a personality comes from the soul, and the soul comes from the heart.
It's different parts of the brain. The personality is the frontal lobe.
Is it though?
I think it's all interconnected.
That's what science says.
Well, science is wrong. Fuck science.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously just like semantics at this point, but like the soul is something that we've kind of agreed, like a large part of society has agreed that souls exist. Are you? I mean, what are you? Are you turning God?
What? How's that?
Who are you to say that who's got souls and who doesn't?
Okay, I don't think I'm the only one in the world that believes souls don't exist, or at least that they're just the brain.
So say one doesn't believe in God.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's me.
And say souls are real.
Okay.
Where do the souls go?
I think that a person who doesn't believe in God probably doesn't believe in anything spiritual.
Well,
Don't believe in souls. Don't believe in karma. Don't believe in
I'm saying.
Wonder if
luck.
Peanut
Don't believe in.
Say
I
souls.
know that Peanut does not. We had this
okay, so
conversation.
then I'm not the only one that we know.
No, you're like you have the typical run of the mill atheist belief, which is that everything that can be touched and seen and observed, with your five senses, is real. Anything that cannot be is
just as
fake.
simple. I believe air exists.
Yeah, but you can feel
guess-
air with your hands.
You don't really feel it. You make wind, but like you're not feeling like the atoms.
But you still, like I said, you believe that only things that can be observed with the five senses are real. Anything that cannot be observed with the five senses is not real. There's no way to validate its truth.
You can taste air.
I mean, I believe aliens exist.
Why? Because you just think it's statistically
we
likely
live in a
that.
vast universe that it's statistically likely there's life in other planets.
Yeah. Okay, but that's.
But
I mean,
it's not to any of my senses.
It's
I
like
haven't seen it. We
It's a
haven't
sixth
heard of,
sense.
like,
it's a sense of reason to believe that there are aliens because.
I'm not shitting on people who believe in God. Like they can believe in what they want.
Mhm.
That's their prerogative. But I don't. I don't believe in a soul. I don't believe in God.
Do you believe that the universe operates under like pretty complicatedly appropriate like mechanisms, like an atom, everything, every subatomic particle in an atom like revolves around a center of gravity, which is the nucleus. So does our Earth and
Physics
moon.
teacher now.
So does our Earth and moon. So does our solar system. So does our galaxy. So does like seemingly the entire universe is all
In motion.
in motion
Inertia.
around a central like body.
Okay.
Do you think that that's just coincidence?
What? What do you mean?
Do you think that it is just coincidence that everything in the entire universe revolves around something the exact same as like from the largest galaxy to the smallest subatomic particle?
It's just like science. It's like gravity and and pull and push and pull between objects.
You know,
What?
Do you think that the mechanics of physics are like perfect?
I'm confused at what you're asking
So
here.
the Earth spins
Yes.
at approximately 800 miles per hour. And if the Earth was suddenly to just stop spinning, everybody on the planet
Would just
would
fly.
just fly at 800 miles per hour, and everybody would instantaneously die at the same time.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, and if it were to slow down a little bit, like the gravity would happen, and nobody would be able to stay to the ground. So the mechanics of physics, I mean, in that instance, make a lot of sense. You know,
I'm basically trying to say that, in my belief, is that physics are too perfect to have happened by chance.
Okay.
How do you respond to that?
I mean, I just go with the Big Bang Theory.
Even the Big Bang Theory operates under the exact same like principles of these physics that we're talking about. Like that would mean that there is one central nucleus to the entire universe. Would that, like, could you get on board with that central nucleus being God?
If it's proven, sure. It's like Big Bang Theory is just a theory.
It is just a theory, yeah.
Like there's no like true actual like consensus on how the universe began. Like, but the biggest theory is the Big Bang Theory. So I'm not a scientist, so I'm just gonna go with what the prevailing theory is right now. I think there's another one with string theory that's been gaining popularity, but I don't remember
What
the
is
details
that?
about
Okay,
it.
well, I don't know. It sounds like second best, but
Hey, it could overtake it.
either way, I'm determined to try and make you a believer, even if like your higher power has to be just the Big Bang. Like I think that's like
Okay.
a sufficient beginning to make. But if you get what in life, if you do what everybody else does, you're gonna get what everybody else gets. If you do what you've always done, you're gonna get what you've always gotten.
Can I ask a question though first?
Yes.
So your belief is just that God created it all.
Yeah, like I have no idea.
And nothing created God. He just existed out of pure chance as well.
I mean, like,
Or she, or they.
It. Like I don't believe that God is gendered. But like
why we always call him he?
I don't. It just is like I don't feel like having that that conversation
anyway,
with theologians.
What created God? He just was the first to just come into existence.
Yeah, like I mean, what created the universe? Like it, or what created
it's like
the Big
the chicken
Bang?
and
Like,
the egg. What? There always has to be something that created something else, right? How are we supposed to know what first created everything if it's all just something had to create that? Like
I don't know. I am a monotheologian, but like for all I know, maybe there's a bunch of gods. You know, maybe like our universe.
But like then you keep going down the rabbit hole of like who created this god, who created this god, like how do they just become? Like
it's a good question. It's a very good question. I don't know. You know, like
that's exactly my point. It's impossible to know. That's
yeah,
why I'm agnostic.
Okay. All right, fair. I'm determined to try and eventually get you guys to.
You guys, what Peanut 2 or something?
Nah, I think Peanut's maybe a little bit of a lost cause, but who knows?
Oh my god.
We are what we repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence is not an act, but a habit. That's what Aristotle said. So, in honor of Aristotle, I came up with 10 habits that I think if we all did, these would make us. What did I say? These would make us excellent. If
These Aristotle's?
No, these are mine, motherfucker. Like
Okay.
fuck Aristotle.
Why bring them up?
So the number one habit is exercise every single day. Rest days are for pussies.
That's not good. You need a rest day.
No, you
even
don't need
God
a
had a
rest
rest day.
God took a rest day. He didn't need a rest day. Though. He
Okay.
just did because he wanted to.
Okay, so can we because we wanted to?
Well, first of all, you don't even
God should
you
be our
don't
role
even
model,
believe
right?
in him.
Yeah,
so,
but
I
like
don't-
you do. So why is this your point?
when you create the universe, then you can have a rest day. But you're not creating the universe. So, and if you take a rest day, you're a pussy.
Unless you're God.
Habit number 2: pay attention to the financial markets every single day. If you
If
don't,
you overwork yourself, you're gonna injure yourself.
no,
Just saying.
it's not true.
That is true. That's medical.
I mean, I haven't been injured from working out,
And
I've been
do
doing
it
it
every day.
virtually. Yeah, like
And how hard do you work out every day?
one,
do
like
light
1 hour,
workouts?
1 hour a day. Yeah, I do a full body workout every single day.
That sounds dangerous.
Like, all right, like if things pop up where I'm unable to, I'm not like beating myself up about it. Like sometimes on Saturdays or Sundays, I will be working and I'm not able to like exercise and shit
It's
like
a rest
that.
day.
It's not like a
You're
schedule.
pussy.
All right, I'll say scheduled rest days are for pussies.
Okay.
If you take a fucking rest day, no, it's too hard. I need to take a rest.
When you get my age, you'll see.
Thank you.
You'll want a rest day.
I'll tell you what, when I was in the pen, there were never no rest.
No rest days, no rest for the wicked, bro.
Yo, whenever somebody's like, yo, I
You wanna
need
be
to
the
rest in
wicked?
the pen, I'll be like, what? Get your ass up, you know? I was big as shit too in the pen.
Yeah.
What else is there to do?
Yanking dude out the bed, be like, get the fuck outside and lift these weights with me, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
That's exactly how I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the financial markets every single day. I mean, there's important shit. Fucking Bitcoin's at 90,000 right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just at 80.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I looked. It was
you
30.
gotta fucking pay attention every day.
Oh my
You're gonna
God.
miss this shit.
I thought you hated Bitcoin.
I do. I don't trust it, but like, yo, it's hard to say that. Like when I first started paying attention, yeah, Bitcoin
in the
was
last month.
yeah,
Jesus, it went up 30,000.
yeah. Habit number 3: compliment another human being every single day. Have you guys paid another human being a compliment today?
Yeah, my coworkers.
What'd you say?
I don't remember the specifics, but I complimented my coworker on sorting the mail and getting them distributed to the branches.
Chris, did you compliment anyone today?
You're the first human beings I've seen today, so you guys all look very nice.
It's pretty late in the day. I mean, I stay in too, so.
I work. I
Oh yeah, yourself.
self-employed. I don't have any workers, so
Do you have any compliments that you want to pay anybody here?
you guys all look very nice.
Oh, thanks. You look nice too. You got a nice smile.
Dan, did you pay any compliments to any humans today?
No,
Do you want to take this opportunity to?
you guys are all such lovely people, and I enjoy your presence.
Why does it sound so sarcastic?
It's just-
I know what your problem is. You do? You're just like me. Trash!
it sounds sarcastic because that's my personality.
Okay.
You sarcastic fuck. Habit number 4: make your bed every day. Does my bed?
No, I don't make my bed at all.
My bed looks pretty spick and span. It's a good way to get a W under your belt first thing in the morning.
Takes
Why
2
make
minutes.
it? I mess
Takes
it up
2
the
minutes.
next night anyway.
Fucking what are you like tossing and turning? Like,
Yeah.
Well,
I'll sleep.
maybe if you had nice tucked sheets, it
Nah.
would stop you.
It is nice
slept in
getting
sheets
getting
that
into
roll
it
around.
when it's at the end of the night.
Tell you what, I never make my bed.
Mhm.
You just gotta stack these small W's and turn them
Yeah.
into big W's. If you make your bed,
Hmm
make it first thing in the
I
morning.
don't think I need to make my bed to get big W's.
Why not?
I don't think that's really a big key factor into anything.
Well, like
Don't you got to make your bed in the pen? Don't they make you?
I didn't make my bed. I folded the blanket and put it under my pillow. I mean, that's still
That's
technically
kinda
considered
making it.
making your bed. But also in rehab, they're like, you need to make your bed. And I would do the same thing, just fucking fold it and put it at the end of the bed. They'd be like, this isn't made. I'd be like, yeah, it is. They'd be like, make your bed. I'd be like, fuck no.
Why don't they make it for you? Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, blah,
What are,
blah,
what are you
blah.
paying them for?
And then I sat there and said, they were like, oh, you need to make your bed. I said, I ain't making my fucking bed. And I walked out the room. And then they went and got the director. And they were like, look at his bed.
Oh, he's dope sick.
Why do they care so much?
The director said, what do you mean? What's wrong with this bed? It's not made. They're like, yeah, it is. They were like, he just folded the blanket and put it at the end of the bed. They were like, does it look made? They were like, well, yeah, then it's made. Leave him the fuck alone. You know?
Yeah, he's going through detox. Come on.
He just came from jail. You know? Like, I made my bed one time over at the house that I live at, and I had a roommate at the time, you know? And 100%, he looked over. I was already gone. I had to go to work or whatever. He looked over. He was like, oh, fuck, Dan made his bed. Now I got to make mine. You know, because I never make my bed and shit, you know? And then, like, my roommate would always be like, if Dan makes his bed, I got to make my bed.
Damn.
Oh, you're a good role model.
Facts, you know.
Yeah, right? And then I didn't make my bed ever.
I think if you want to be like, if you want like what does Confucius say? How you do one thing is how you do everything. Do you want to be the kind of person that doesn't make your bed?
I already am.
You want to be the kind of person that doesn't make your boss satisfied with your performance? Do you want to be the kind of guy that
My
doesn't make
bosses
your-
are satisfied.
you want to be the kind of guy that doesn't make? Your
I
woman
don't
come
agree
thoroughly?
with that Confucius quote if that's what he means by it.
I don't know.
Okay.
Are there some things that you do superbly and some things that you do?
Yeah. Making my bed I don't do. Other things I do well, yeah.
If you had a girl who you thought was your soulmate and she was going to see your bed for the first time, would you make it?
I mean, probably, I guess.
Soulmate.
Well, if she's my soulmate, which I don't even believe in, would she be so disgusted with my bed that she's not gonna want to be with me?
Absolutely, possibly.
Then she's not my soulmate. You're lying. You're
there
just
was a
making
girl-
shit up.
If there was a girl you were
Oh my
smitten
God.
over,
Yeah.
she was your crush. You would let her come back to your unmade bed. Would you also
Would you let them come to this house because it's a mess?
I mean, I'd clean up first for
Uh-huh.
sure.
Absolutely.
I doubt it. You never clean.
Would you fail to manscape?
I manscape regardless, but I don't think that matters.
If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
Okay.
So, I mean, me personally, if I hit it off with a girl, you know,
Mm-hmm.
she's like, hey, can I come over? I'd be like, yeah, absolutely, you come over. Trust me, I'm gonna fucking clean my room because that
Facts,
shit is
dude.
a fucking disaster right now. I'm gonna clean my room and probably make my bed. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
all the clothes that are clean off the chair and fold them all.
I want to give a false impression
The false impression that you're
that I'm keeping
that
my
you're
room clean
thoroughbred, like you.
because I'm not keeping my room clean.
All right. No. Habit number 5: become better at a hard skill every day.
Every day. Are you getting better at a hard skill every day?
I'm getting better at broadcasting, getting better at video editing, getting better at.
That's not every day.
I mean,
That's once a week for
One-
broadcast.
once a week I broadcast,
Yeah.
but I still do other shit for the podcast every day of the week. And that's only one of my 5 self-proclaimed jobs, you know.
Have you
like,
also? Do we know if you've gotten better, or are you the same level? Like-
Hey, if you're in the audience, let me know if I'm getting better, but have you ever watched a broadcast of this show when you're not live?
No, I hate this show.
So I mean, it's all right, whatever. And actually, technically speaking, I don't give a
I
fuck
actually
about your
did
opinion.
watch the first
Mhm.
one when we first did it, but then I stopped caring.
Okay. Well, then I stop caring about your opinion about it.
Oh, I guess I'll stop being on the show.
Habit number 6: arrive to your work at least 15 minutes early every single day. Do you have another gripe with this one?
Why would I have a gripe? I do more than that.
I don't know. You have a gripe about everything. So
I
I'm just
haven't.
asking.
I didn't even have a gripe about the first one.
You had a gripe about the first one. You had a gripe. Well, you had no clue about Bitcoin being up.
Yeah, but I didn't have any disagreement with paying attention to financial markets.
You didn't necessarily have a gripe with 3. You have a
It
gripe
was
with
2
number
things
4.
I had gripes
You have a
with.
gripe with 1. Have a gripe with 4. Have a gripe with 5.
I didn't.
not
I
6.
just said you're not doing that. I also don't think you need to be better at something hard every day.
You got to
I
get
think
1% better.
You should get better.
Habit number 6. Habit number 7.
It's little increments.
Habit number 7: place yourself in rooms with people whose reality mimics your dreams. What do you guys think?
I mean,
It's like birds of a feather.
it sounds kind of the opposite. It's what you want to be versus what you are.
Yeah, like I think that birds of a feather flock together. If you're the smartest person in the room, if you're the richest person in the room, if you're the strongest person in a room, you're in the wrong room. Is my opinion.
I like to place myself in a room with sober people.
Exactly. People who are
Because I want to be sober.
exactly yeah, and you're hopefully placing yourself in rooms where people have much more time than you.
Yeah.
If you're the person in the room who's got the most sober time, well, that's probably me in this room. I gotta find more sober people.
Yeah. I place myself around people that have usually 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
My cousin's got 8 or 9 years sober.
I want to bring him on the podcast. He's a cool guy.
I can talk to him. Next time I see him in person.
Habit number 8: mentor somebody. If you were to die today, your knowledge would go with you. And that is unless you're teaching folks. So, teach people. Habit number 9: shut your brain off from stimulation once per day and meditate. This is a hard one.
I was gonna say, have you ever meditated?
Yeah, every night.
When? Every night?
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot physically shut my brain off.
It's hard. It's really fucking difficult.
It doesn't work. Because my brain moves at a million miles a minute. Because I don't know if anybody here noticed I have severe ADHD.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I was gonna ask, but I didn't think that was appropriate.
You were gonna ask?
It's appropriate.
Because I thought you said it before that you have ADHD.
Yeah, it's super bad.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do the box breathing? Try that.
What's that?
Take a breath for 4 seconds in, hold for 4 seconds, and then breathe out for 4 seconds, and just concentrate on that. That will help.
I don't know. You got to give me something
It's hard to. You got to just.
Actually, I can
That's how I
shut my
meditate.
brain off with certain things, but meditation's not one of them. So if I'm sitting there and I'm playing a game like Candy Crush, Bejeweled, fucking word searches, shit like that, then I can shut my brain off and concentrate on that.
Yeah.
I think that would be using your brain more because you're focusing on it.
Well, I mean,
I guess it's like having your brain go everywhere at once versus having your brain focused on one thing.
it's kind of like, forget everything except your name, like with SpongeBob.
I love that. We forgot his name. We threw out his name.
What's my name? Which one of you fellas is the real dirty Dan?
Which one of you fellers is the real dirty Dan?
And habit number 10, I know Turney has a gripe with this. Pray every single morning and night. I think this is another way to get like a small W. Start. Just stack W's. If you just are able to share your gratitude, even if God's not real, even if he doesn't actually exist, putting your energy on this grateful plane, seeking to be of service, seeking to, be one with nature, I think it's a powerful place to be. So, all right, I want to see if you guys are able to be reflective. So, Chris, can you discuss for me 3 of your character defects?
3 of my character defects. I was just thinking about these the other day. I suppose, I am a bit of a perfectionist, and that's an issue. People pleasing.
Okay, so you're a perfectionist and a people pleaser.
And I curse a lot. Been working on
So
that.
we'll call that like irreverent, I guess. I curse a lot too.
And
It doesn't really fucking matter.
I mean, that's like one of the main things I'm trying to work on is
I
not
feel like-
curse as much.
I feel like a lot of people nowadays don't really care about cursing anyway, but if that's something you want to do, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So perfectionist, people pleaser, irreverent, we'll say for you. Cherney, what are 3 of your character defects?
Argumentative.
Yes.
Stubborn.
Yes.
I was just thinking of another one. I forgot it. I mean, I'm a people pleaser too. Usually, I like to help out a lot. Well, that's why I'm here.
Okay. Dirty Dan, what are 3 of your character defects?
Character defect number 1, I am incredibly obnoxious.
Okay.
No matter how much I try, I can't not be obnoxious. Might just be a personality trait. But
A personality trait that
Obnoxious is also-
defective is a defect. So we'll say you're obnoxious.
Well, also, obnoxious is subjective. Like, what, you would need something more specific, wouldn't you?
We could say he's do you think you're
I guess,
disruptive?
yeah.
We'll call you
I-
disruptive if you agree.
my coworker actually told me I'm very obnoxious. He says it's my main personality trait. I'm like, all right, cool.
I think of obnoxious as like a culmination of multiple things.
Right.
That
My boys, when we were growing up, they all wanted to learn how to play the guitar. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I want to play the drums.
So being what is it called?
Nothing wrong with
like when
drums.
you want to be the opposite,
Yeah.
basically. What's the word for that? It's what Justin is all the time.
I don't know.
Defiant?
I guess defiant works. Yeah.
Is that another one of your defects?
Mhm.
Okay, so
Or
disruptive,
stubborn.
defiant, and what's a third?
Low self-esteem.
Okay, so unconfident, is that a word?
Mm.
Okay. 3 of my character defects, I would say I'm judgmental, I'm arrogant, and I'm like, I guess, zealous. Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, this is the best. Do this, come on.
Yeah.
And I think my mom's watching now. Like, I tried to get her on the Patreon. She's like, I don't like that my son is begging for money. she doesn't
Why?
she doesn't sound like an old
like,
Jewish
wait.
bubby, but
Are you Jewish now? Like-
no. But like that's the voice that she has when she said that. Like,
Oh my god.
do you guys think Darwinism?
Not begging for money, you're working for money.
That's what I said. I said I'm not begging for money. Do you guys think Darwinism applies to humanity? And then when I speak of Darwinism, I'm talking about like
Just
only the
natural
strong.
selection.
Only the strong survive.
You probably just say natural selection.
Natural selection.
Well, I guess that still implies like adaptation.
The only way to win is to make sure everybody loses.
What's that from?
It's from a Disney movie, actually.
Wait, which one?
It's from Descendants. I was
Oh.
watching it with my little cousin one
Been a
time
while
when we
since
were
I
younger.
saw
You know, she was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, you want to watch Descendants with me?" I'm like, "Oh yeah."
that.
Kind of question is that?
Of course.
Hey, can everybody
Oh, contrarian was what I was thinking of.
yeah, okay. I would call that like defiant though. Like
yeah, it's like the same.
it's
thing.
good to be a
One
contrarian
has.
sometimes.
I think one
like,
has better context or
like contrarian.
connotation. I feel like contrarians usually seem better than defiant.
Yeah, like there are times and places where it's
Yeah.
appropriate to be a contrarian. You don't want to. You want to be free thinking. You don't want
Yeah.
to just go along with the
I don't know
herd.
what the fuck that means.
It means like
What?
when everyone's going left, you go right. That's being like a contrarian.
Oh,
Which is also being defiant.
I like
it's
Because
literally the same
you're
thing.
defiant. That's okay.
I don't want to be a contrarian. I'm defiant.
I'm watching the beat of my own drum.
Kelly Buick said, "Hi, I thought you were doing Saturday. My GF. Lee is listening tonight too."
Hi, Leah. Leah, if you are not subscribed, you better fucking subscribe. And if you are subscribed, feel free to chat in, and Gladys, our chat bot, will read your chats out loud to us.
Or if you're looking for two roommates, you can join.
Well, she lives in San Diego, California, so
Well,
I
then you
doubt
move out.
that's happening.
It's probably more expensive there.
Does natural selection apply to humanity?
Natural selection?
Like only the strong survive?
I think it depends on. I think
So, I think it still does. Sorry.
no, okay.
Because there's still like we've curved it a bit to where we always try to make our weaker stronger and like help everyone out. But there are still stupid people that do stupid things and can end up dying because of it. Like people who get addicted to like deadly drugs, like people that just make bad choices. There's only so much we can intervene as a society to help them.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, if you did you have another point or did you
I guess
wanna say
well,
something?
different situations, I suppose. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people could fold, but I think in that circumstance, some circumstances is the only the strong will survive. You know,
I think in society, like humanity, only the strong thrive with humans. But I think that like we pick up we pick up the weak.
Not all, but most.
We try, like we make an effort to pick up all. Which brings me on to my next question. Do you guys appreciate the welfare state?
Sure.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you think that it is harmful to people who are on welfare?
Why is it harmful?
Because like you're not helping somebody by giving them a fish instead of teaching them how to fish.
Well, they do.
Kelly Buick said, "Lee says she can't chat cause she is still working."
Nah, it's because she's not subscribed. That bitch. It's okay. We understand, Leah, and we hope to we hope to get you as a listener every episode. And I shouldn't call you the B word. Sorry.
Do you so aggressive?
Do you think that? Do you think that teaching a person to fish is more beneficial to their livelihood than
Yes.
giving them fish?
But what was the government supposed to step in and teach you? They still tell you to actively look for a job, otherwise they cut off welfare.
Not all the time.
Kelly
Not all the
Buick
time, but that's the
said, "I
majority of
don't
it.
like people
that's the
who
big part of
abuse
it."
the welfare system." Demeter Jackson said, "Welfare is great."
Yo, Demontre,
The
let's get that welfare.
like chat basically. Welfare is great. I hate welfare.
Demontre likes welfare.
Well, Kelly doesn't hate it. It sounds like she doesn't like people that abuse welfare
Yeah.
system, which obviously
When
there's people that
when I
exist
first
that do that.
moved out here, to Levittown, Pennsylvania from Cape May, New Jersey, like I didn't have a job, I had no money. I was on food stamps, you know, for a little bit because I needed food stamps, and the worst came to worst. You know, I could
Demeter
almost-
Jackson said, "You gotta work the system."
I agree. Like, I don't qualify for food stamps. If I did, I'd 100% be on food stamps. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying that like you are like a leech upon society or something like that. You know, like if systems are in place, take advantage of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When worst came to worst, I was able to pay my rent with my food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
But
The fact of the matter is, I'm not on food stamps anymore, but I was when I first came out here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I collected unemployment and worked under the table.
I think unemployment is more like, don't you pay into unemployment? Don't we all pay into unemployment?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, like I don't really consider that welfare.
Welfare is like
It's working the system, I guess.
welfare
Sure,
is
you
like
gotta work the system. You know,
Yeah.
like,
welfare is like you go to the welfare office and get a voucher at like a motel, you know, where you don't have to pay anything. You just stay at a motel and you go there once a week to get a voucher type stuff.
mhm.
You know,
I think what's happening is we're sliding down a slippery slope.
Kelly Hewick said, "It's all okay for a temporary situation."
Yeah, exactly. If somebody gives you a fish, eat it, but like take it upon yourself to learn how to fish. You know what I mean? Don't, you know, get like help. God helps those who help themselves.
Stop it. Get some help.
What's happening though is we're falling down the slippery slope. We're falling below the competency level where it makes sense for the Matrix to preserve our humanity. It'll become a whole lot easier for the powers that be to replace us with robots and send our fat asses into space on a Walmart rocket ship. We're not having sex like we used to. We're in the middle of a big sex recession. We don't produce anything. We consume and we occupy space. That's pretty much what Americans do. And I mean, it's only a matter of time before we're, you know, extinct because we are fucking useless. You know what I mean? Am I alone in that thought?
No, there's nothing to really say.
It's the uncomfortable truth, I think. Dan, what are your thoughts on a federally legislated minimum wage? Or what are your thoughts on increasing the federal minimum wage? I think right now it's like $7.25 an hour.
yeah. So I mean, Pennsylvania, I think there's like another state or something where there's still Commonwealth states.
Mhm.
You know, like every other state, I think minimum wage is like 15 an hour.
Not every state, definitely not
They're-
like Alabama.
I think
and
most of them are
Mississippi.
between like 12 and 15.
The
We're
Jer-
still 7.
That's got it.
Jersey's-
There's no way that applies to like Middle America, like Nebraska and North Dakota and South
Yeah,
Dakota.
probably not because their cost of
It's probably like
living-
California,
I know Jersey's
Washington,
like 15.
Jersey, New York, probably Rhode Island, Connecticut.
Yeah. So I mean, to be honest, like, yeah, I feel like minimum wage should get raised.
I
Yeah.
think so. What do you think, Chris?
I just running my own business, and when I had people working, I couldn't pay them no less than 15 an hour.
Mhm.
You know, 15 to 18.
Was that just to like remain competitive with other carpenters, or
No, mine. I don't. There's no competition with my work. There's enough work to go around, so I just feel like how can someone survive on $7 an hour? You know,
yeah?
and you know, you ask a lot out of these guys, and you know, I thought it was a fair wage. You know,
Yeah.
but I don't know how companies can do that. Just pay people $7-8 an hour.
Yeah.
That's
There's
just
22
ridiculous.
states that are under $10.
So yeah, I think
And we're
15
one
would
of
be a
them.
good.
Yeah.
22.
So majority do go over $10. But
Yeah. But so we're amongst the We're amongst the states in
Oregon
America.
is weird. I don't know what all this is about. It's like in 2023 it was $15.45 for employers in the Portland metro, $13.20 for non-urban counties, and $14.20 for all others. In 2024, it says $1.25 over the standard minimum wage for employers in the Portland metro, $1 less than the standard minimum wage for non-urban counties.
What?
Effective July 1st. I don't know why Oregon is so complicated with this.
Maybe I'm sure the cost of living in like Portland versus
Yeah, I mean, I
Bumblefuck,
get that.
Oregon
It's
is
just
so
it's
drastically
like
different.
almost none of the other states have like anything other
Yeah.
than a baseline minimum wage.
We're 22nd.
DC is 17.
Yeah, DC's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Expensive as shit.
Well, I
all
mean,
these crooked-
California is probably more expensive. They're 16.
That's not a lot. Like California is extremely
Yeah, I know.
expensive.
They're the most
like,
expensive, aren't they?
second most expensive.
What's second?
Hawaii
Or
is
first?
Hawaii is first.
Oh, that's for cost of living. Yeah, are we talking
Yeah.
about cost of living?
Well, like I
Yeah.
think the minimum wage should be directly proportional to cost of
I
living.
agree.
Dirty Dan, are you a feminist?
No.
Hawaii is 14.
Chris, are you a feminist?
I would have to say no.
Cherney, are you a feminist?
Yes. Why were you so disappointed when asking me?
What?
You sounded like so churning.
'Cause-
What are you?
I know you're a feminist, and it's what it is. What it is. Does male privilege exist?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Well, I guess I should ask everyone. Does male privilege exist?
Yes.
Does male privilege exist?
Yes.
Does female privilege exist?
Demeter Jackson said, I'm a feminist for sure.
I love Demontre, dude. He's a feminist. He sucks off the teat of society by exploiting the welfare system. Is there anything else, Demontre? Anything else you want to tell us? Does female privilege exist?
I mean, yeah.
Does female privilege exist?
Yeah.
Do we live in a patriarchy?
I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
you mean by
It means like a society that is built by men for the
For the people.
for the men. It props men up to a higher tier than women in
Yeah.
society.
Yeah.
Yeah, we live in a patriarchy. Do you think?
Demeter Jackson said, pretty privilege. Yes, patriarchy.
Okay, so do we live in a patriarchy?
I think for the majority, yeah.
Yeah. So in a patriarchy, are women inherently second-class citizens, Cherney?
How are we defining second-class citizens?
They're not.
Because that sounds like a stronger term.
Well, I think
They're to a lesser degree. I don't know.
they're second. They're
Yes.
second. They're second to men,
Sure.
right? So yes, if you subscribe to patriarchy theory, you subscribe that women are inherently second-class citizens.
That sounds so much stronger, but I
It
guess.
is like
In what aspect?
In what aspect?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think somebody who believes in patriarchy theory would have to tell you, I don't believe in patriarchy theory. Cherney, do you wish to explain how women are second-class citizens?
Well, they're having their right to health care taken away from them.
Which rights are you talking about?
Abortion.
Okay, so their reproductive rights are being stifled,
Mm-hmm.
but men don't have reproductive rights.
Sure, they do.
What
They-
reproductive rights do men have?
You can get Viagra for free.
That's not a reproductive right. You can.
That is reproduction.
No,
That's
that's
literally how
sex.
you. That's how you reproduce.
Okay, but like.
It's literally funded for erectile dysfunction.
Where are men able to procure free Viagra?
Men who use I think it's Medicare and Medicaid, and you can get it's funded by a lot of insurance, like health insurance companies, to have Viagra.
Okay, but you're still paying for it, and And
You're
furthermore,
I mean,
I
if you're
would
paying for Medicare and Medicaid, you're not paying for. That's government funded.
furthermore, there's no right to have an erection. It is like a medication that you're able to procure, and furthermore, it is not.
It is
Tied.
It is reproductive health care.
Isn't it a privilege?
That's what
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Like it's a privilege.
Well, everything's
and
a privilege.
Is an abortion a privilege?
Sure.
Like the,
Yeah.
the ability to get an abortion a privilege?
Yeah, and
So
you're
they're-
taking that privilege away.
So their
which
rights
is
are not being enforced.
Okay, rights, no, because I don't actually think rights is the right word, because everything's really a privilege over a right. Like our right to vote is really a privilege.
Yeah.
People can take that away if they really want to.
Yes.
I feel like I can agree with like the abortion thing to an extent. You know, say me and some girl, we decide to have consensual. She gets pregnant or whatever. She's like, I don't know what to do. Obviously, we're two full-grown adults. We made the choice. We need to now deal with it. You know what I mean? But in the case, say, a girl who's like anywhere from like 12 to 14, her father, her uncle does something and she gets pregnant, you know what I mean? In a situation like that, I feel like it should be okay, you know what I mean? Because what's so beautiful about birthing your father's child, you know what I mean?
So we tried to have this
No.
argument last episode about coming to some type of a peaceful compromise on abortion privileges, and I mean, I think that I made many good faith attempts to meet in a middle ground, and it was to no avail. But
Two full-grown adults, you know, that's our choice. That's our decision. Someone who's not a full-grown consenting adult, yeah, you know, in a situation like that, it should be allowed.
what should be allowed? Getting an abortion should be allowed.
If it's like a 12-year-old child that,
Oh, of course.
where her father or uncle did something to her, you know what I mean?
Of course. And this is in the classification of exceptions that I, made concessions for, that I think that in certain exemptions, it should be totally and completely allowed and uninhibited.
Now, say we get girlfriends and they're also in their 30s, you know what I mean?
And we just bang them willy-nilly without a condom.
We just bang them, gone, they get pregnant, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, should you be allowed to,
No.
abort them?
Nah, because we were two consenting adults. We decided that we wanted to do it raw dog. You know what I mean? So I'm duffing you from behind type stuff. And
Oh,
and it just feels so good. I want to pull out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guy's begging you. You spit off of him. Those are the worst defenders to play against, actually.
And I'm not inside because I don't feel like pulling out, you know what I mean? We were two consenting adults. I mean, you might be like, why would you do that? Because I ain't born and you were nothing.
yo, Demontre, if you're listening, I know you got a couple baby mamas. You sound like the kind of motherfucker that's just fucking bare beef burying fucking bitches on the raw.
So now, so with that being said, like, yeah, we were two consenting adults. Now you're pregnant. Yeah, we got to deal with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I'm a pro-lifer, except for those exceptions that I just laid out. I think that it should not be permitted unless there are, concessions to be made, in the event of incest, in the event of sexual assault, in the event of to save the life of the mother. But like I was saying, Viagra is not a reproductive privilege.
It is. How is it not?
Because you could use Viagra.
All it does is give you a
You
boner.
could use Viagra responsibly and not. It could not lead to any reproduction.
It's used for a purpose of reproduction.
I mean,
It's used for the purpose of sex.
Yes, which is for reproduction.
Well, not really. It's
It
only
doesn't
really
have to.
used
Yeah, it
to
doesn't
give you a
have to be, but
boner.
You can use You could use what are there 40 forms of birth control? You could use Viagra in unison with these other 40 forms of birth control, and it can have virtually 0% chance of leading to reproduction.
Sure.
So how can you say that it is
Because it can be used for it. It's a
Okay,
tool
yes.
that is used for reproduction.
But sex is a tool that can be used for reproduction.
Sure, no one's taking away sex from people.
Exactly. Well,
What do you mean exactly? What's your point? That's not my claim.
Your claim is that men are given extra privileges or rights in that they are able to procure Viagra from health insurance, and that is somehow supposed to negate the fact that women in some states are not able to murder their children.
I mean,
It's not children.
I mean, and
Murder their fetuses.
and if you're really that worried, like, Viagra's a pill that really just gives you a boner for hours.
And if it lasts longer than that, you should consult a physician.
Yeah, but with women, there's a pill too. It's called Plan B.
Yeah, that's for abortion as well.
It is.
They are
like, it is
also
a type of-
outlawing that in like Texas.
That's
They
just
don't.
in case, like,
They're trying to get rid of that. They're trying to get rid of abortion. There's a lot of things that they're trying to attack on women's privileges for.
I mean,
For reproduction.
Really, Plan B, all it does is just like kill the sperm, swim into the egg.
What? Isn't it fertilized?
Yeah, like it.
I'm pretty sure
It's
when
like
fertilized.
it's a chemical abortion is what it is. Like it's.
So is an IUD.
It
in
can
some
be,
ways,
yeah. But I reject the theory that women are second-class citizens in America. I wholeheartedly reject that theory. It's pretty. I think it's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, like. I mean, I can't think of one example where their privileges are being stifled besides the privilege to have unprotected sex and have no consequences for that type of behavior.
Women have a bigger consequence than men do.
They do, and so therefore they have a biological imperative to be the more selective
you can't
sex.
stop people that will sexually assault you.
And in my kumbaya
Yeah.
fantasy land, there would
Sure,
not
in
be.
my fantasy land, there would be no need for abortion either, but that's a fantasy land, so.
So, are you the only pro-choice one here at the table? Are you pro-life or pro-choice? If you had to pick one or the other.
I like what you said. Besides, they can abort if a incest or if it's sexual, if it's rape or if it's to save the life of the mother. Yeah.
But yeah, so those are the only concessions that you make for that choice. Is that that's what you're saying?
Right.
Okay.
What would that be?
You agree as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I would be pro-choice. usually,
Pro-choice, yeah.
There's like some people that are consider themselves pro-life while having exceptions though, so it can kind of go either way.
Well, I think I think we're all in that camp. We're all pro-life with those three exceptions, and even if it's 24 hours. If it's 24 hours after you did the deed, are you okay with a chemical abortion?
Well, I mean,
Like a plan B, right?
between two consenting adults,
Yes.
and I tell you I'm about to nut and you say finish inside me. Like, yeah, no, I'm not okay with that.
Oh, really? Okay.
You
So
know?
you're against plan B.
I mean, if you tell me to fucking finish inside you, you know what I mean? Like,
You want that baby, right?
that's our fucking fault. I want that.
What
baby.
do you think? Are you against plan B or are you for it? If
Yeah,
it's taken 24 hours, if it's taken the morning after.
Just don't tell me.
Just get an abortion. Just don't tell me.
It's your choice, your body.
If you tell me, I'm going to tell you no. I want that baby. You don't even have to be part of it. It's like I want it.
They
At-
still have
At this
it.
point in my life, I don't want any more kids.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is all. I mean, I think this is an example of female privilege. Is that
Yeah, there's privilege for both. We acknowledge that.
so? But I wholeheartedly reject the concept that women are second-class citizens because women are the gatekeepers on reproduction.
As
One-
it should be.
1/3 of men are being phased out of the mating market. Won't have offspring.
Isn't that natural selection?
To an extent, yeah.
So I thought you said that doesn't exist anymore in humanity.
I
Demeter Jackson said, "What about ectopic pregnancy?"
What is an ectopic pregnancy?
It's where the fetus is formed in the ovaries or in the fallopian tubes, I think.
Is that like I assume there's like going to be birth defects in a situation like that?
And it doesn't have to be. There's like people can be born from ectopic pregnancy and still be perfectly
totally
functional.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, then I mean I feel the same about that as with other pregnancies.
Yeah, that's a hard one though. If they know
Pregnancy
that.
that can't be carried to term because the fertilized egg grows outside the uterus. With an ectopic pregnancy,
Well, then yes.
fertilized eggs can't survive.
Yeah.
And it can cause. Well, I'm pretty sure you bleeding. I thought you could have an ectopic pregnancy and you would have to have like a C-section. But
Did you know that a C-section is technically a form of abortion? Were you the one who told me this?
yeah.
So technically speaking, I'm actually a survivor of abortion. Did you guys know that?
That's by like
I
the
was
medical.
a C-section baby.
But that's like the medical definition. Like when we're talking about abortions, we're normally talking about like killing the fetus.
Yeah, like I was wanted by my mother and father. They didn't want me to perish,
Yeah.
but I mean, like technically speaking, I'm a survivor of abortion. But like these are all examples of how men are not first-class citizens to women who are oppressed underneath
Ectopic
them.
pregnancy, you cannot survive.
Kelly Buick said, "LOL, Chris."
You didn't want me.
I'll pop right out.
Demeter Jackson said, "I'm glad you didn't perish."
Who said that?
Demontre.
Monte?
Demontre, you didn't answer. How many? I'm just gonna make an assumption. You got a bunch of babies
What?
walking
What did
this
you ask
earth.
that?
I asked it earlier. I asked Demontre how many bastard children.
I thought
he
you
has.
just like asked him what else you want to say.
Ectopic is an emergency.
Yeah, and we'll make an exception.
I think those are like the situations where it affects the health.
Yeah, exactly. Men are unaliving themselves more. Men experience homelessness more. Men are more likely to die.
Women-
Women attempt
Said,
more.
"I have 4 kids."
Nice. So does Chris. How many baby mamas, Demontre?
Jesus Christ! Why are you getting so personal with our dad?
I don't know this guy. I want to know more about him.
Well, you should come on this one.
Demontre, this is your invitation to come on the show. Men are more likely to die on the job. Men are pursuing secondary education less, graduating with fewer degrees. 40-year-old men who are divorced are 8 times more likely to delete themselves. 1/3 of paternity tests taken yield a result of paternity fraud. Are men struggling at this point in human history, or
Sure. So are women.
so we're just like humanity is just struggling?
Yeah.
In general.
I mean, there's always a struggle for people.
Do you think that is a result of the patriarchy?
No, the patriarchy is where it's disadvantaged to women and more so than men.
Okay.
And
And
women delete themselves 13 times more when they're sexually assaulted. If you're gonna bring in cherry pick stats, there's plenty of them.
but like men, I'm not like
Women
men
in general also attempt more than men.
but men are sexually assaulted probably almost
1%. It's
What?
1% men are sexually assaulted.
Do you think
Compared
that
to
that's just because they're not reporting it because there's a stigma that goes along with
Sure, if
victims?
you want to increase the number to whatever it is, 10%, it's still gonna be a majority women.
I mean, Dan, you've been in the pen I'm
Jennifer
sure
Jackson said, underreported.
underreported. I'm sure it's vastly underreported.
Sure, but it does not reach majority.
Like I know you're not like going around with a clipboard and the pen like, excuse me, Hector, were you sexually assaulted? You know, but like, do you think it's happening like so much more than people think in there? Or do you think that's like a misconception that we have about?
I mean, it really depends on.
Wouldn't that also be
prison you go
reported
to.
in prison?
No.
Because if you go to like Rahway,
Actually,
Trenton
yeah.
State, or Northern State, where everybody got fucking like 50 to
Mhm.
like 175 years,
Yeah.
with no chance of parole.
Yeah. They're not worried about
Mofos are
shit.
getting,
You know what I mean?
mofos are like straight going like, go up to all the fruity ones and take that booty, you know what I mean?
Just fruity, take that boot.
Yeah, but I was in a youth correctional facility, I was in a place called Mountain View Youth Correctional Facility where nobody really did shit like that.
Yeah.
The guards would bring us in these porno mags called butt mans. That's legit what the name of the porno mag was called, Butt Man. That shit was crazy.
I think you're either going to be celibate or gay
Like
in there.
fucking like bitches with their like anuses gaped,
Ugh. Let's
This is
Switch
the
topics. let's switch topics to something a little bit more wholesome. Which comic book hero is the lamest? Chris, I'll start with you. Who's the lamest comic book hero?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry.
You're not a comic book fan?
Nah, I'm not a big comic book guy.
Okay. Cherney?
I know there's like a lot of meaningless ones that I don't really like remember, but I can't really think of one right now. I guess. Yeah, I pass. Go someone else. I gotta think.
Dirty Dan.
Hate me if you want, Batman.
Is lame?
Yup.
How?
He just wants to be contrarian. Wants to be defiant.
Batman.
Why don't you just give me the lines? Step on my head when I'm drowning. What a great friend. We need one.
How can you say that?
You know why?
Why?
I'm gonna tell you
Because
why.
he doesn't have a
I think Batman
superpower.
is lame. No. First
What?
of all, Batman's lame because Dick Grayson's Robin is so much better. I'm a bigger fan of Robin than Batman. Honestly.
What?
Yeah, dead serious.
Demeter Jackson
All jokes
said,
aside.
anyone from Walking Dead.
I have to agree with that for sure.
So how about like Robin from Teen Titans Go? Is he better?
I'm not talking about Teen Titans.
All right.
Okay, well, we can talk about different Batmans. Are there different Batmans that you like better?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. He's got a fucking clown as a villain. You know what I mean?
The Joker's like one of the
He
goat. He's a goat.
He is one of the best villains. And that's
No,
also Robin's villain too. They're partners.
Yeah.
Actually, Slade Wilson is Robin's villain.
Okay, I mean he's a really good villain.
Slade Wilson is Nightwing's villain, not Robin.
No, that's Robin's
Robin's
too. Teen Titans? Yeah,
And
Teen Titans.
All
Yeah,
right.
Dude, he was
Deathstroke?
sick in Teen Titans.
I don't see. I might have to come back to this. Which comic book hero is the
Also, it's
lamest?
like the same person anyway.
I've
You're
always-
going Nightwing versus Robin.
I've always
Demeter Jackson said, I don't agree, but I like the controversial take.
I've always kind of not liked Iron Man a little bit.
Why?
He's just like arrogant. He's annoying.
Yeah, he definitely is arrogant.
Yeah, I don't like the arrogance. Which comic book hero is a badass? Or are you gonna say Nightwing?
Absolutely.
What about
Yeah.
you, Cherney?
Nightwing will literally kill you without a second thought.
That kind of is unheroic.
He's got
To murder.
no. He
Vigilante.
does not have the same.
Wouldn't that be
morals
Batman
as
too?
Batman. No,
No,
Oh
Batman
wait, yeah,
doesn't
you
kill
kill.
people.
I guess yeah.
That's also why he's lame. Because he won't take a life. But Nightwing, he don't care. Like,
Kelly
Doesn't
Buick
take a light.
said, look out a window at the moon.
Yeah, I know. I saw
huge.
it's a.
Ryan
Yeah.
McGraw
Oh,
said,
Ryan fucking
Daredevil
stole my
is
shit. Yeah, Daredevil is the badass. Daredevil's blind. He's got like actual bat vision. He's
Why
the-
didn't you say it?
I was about to say it, and then I was letting the chats come in. But I was gonna say Daredevil. He's the man without fear. He's got no fucking fear. Like, how do you beat somebody who's not afraid of anything? You know what I mean?
Kill
It's
him.
easier said than done. He's got.
I'm
like,
not saying it's
he's got
easy.
he's got supersonic.
I'm not
fucking-
saying it's easier, but that's how you would do it.
Which comic book villain is the coolest?
Joker.
Yeah, I was gonna say Joker. I always have I like all of Batman's villains.
I think Joker's really. I also think Thanos is really good.
Thanos. I like Penguin. He's
Penguin's funny.
Penguin's like he's like slept on. He's like little and portly, but like he's like he gives Batman a fucking run for his money, even though he's.
How about like Catwoman? Does that count?
I do not consider her a villain. I consider her
Rickon
She's like
said,
both.
Doom.
I guess.
Doom. Doom's good. I like Doom. And now which comic book villain?
Oh wait. What's his name? Not the X-Men. Who's the X-Men villain?
Apocalypse?
Magneto. Oh,
Magneto,
Magneto's
yeah.
my fucking
But I
guy.
was thinking of
Yeah.
superheroes villain too.
Superman, Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor.
Eh,
He's pretty badass.
Those would probably be like my Mount Rushmore of villains. I'd put Magneto. Who did I say?
Lex Luthor.
Magneto,
Joker.
Lex Luthor, Joker, and I don't know who my fourth would be, but like those three I think are good ones. Which comic book villain's the lamest?
Rickon said, Magneto is badass.
Yeah, he's a fucking badass. Survived the Holocaust. A lame comic book villain. I always kind of thought Mystique was kind of lame. Like, does Mystique get the
What does she
powers?
do?
She just like changes into the like appearance of, but I don't think she gets the powers of like other people.
I mean, it's
I could be
kind of
wrong.
camouflage. It's pretty useful.
Yeah, it's useful.
Isn't
but
that what Nightwalker's teleporting? There's another
There's
Beast
like a-
Boy, I guess.
Beast Boy? Beast Boy sounds like just a fucking dork.
I hate Beast Boy's
Is
personality.
that Teen Titans
Yeah,
too? I don't
but-
watch Teen Titans.
but
I'm not about
Teen
that
Titans was great. Teen Titans Go is trash, but Beast Boy's personality is so annoying, but his power is pretty cool. Being able to turn into like any animal you want.
shit. There's Animal Man though. Animal Man's like he has the power of any animal.
Oh, so does Beast Boy.
Well, Beast Boy
Why
sounds
is there
like a
two of the same people?
Yeah, because DC's. Like,
Is
flawed.
Animal Man the same as Beast Boy?
I bet you like they probably stole it from him. Yeah. Who's the most insufferable Disney protagonist? Chris, do you know this shit? Do you know Disney a little better than comic books or no?
Yeah.
Who's the most insufferable
course.
Disney protagonist?
So what you gotta layman's terms?
Like who's the lamest fucking?
Who you find
Disney-
annoying or lame?
I would say
Protagonist.
princess, but now like there's been many princes in Disney.
More just regular people.
I like all Disney. I think all their movies are cool.
Who's the worst? Who's the worst Disney good guy?
Worse.
Who's Aurora?
Sleeping Beauty.
She was kind of boring.
Okay.
You said Snow White, right?
Well, I want to make it a habit of coming up with a new one every episode.
We're just gonna get to every
So-
princess
no,
ever. Every princess.
So I got a good one tonight. The most insufferable Disney protagonist, Thomas O'Malley, the alley cat, yo. He's just
From-
simping for the single mom with 3 bastard kids. Here, eat my food. Here, I'll take you in, sleep on my bed. You know, I'll sleep on the floor. Like I'm just gonna simp for this fucking single mom here. Like, nah, fuck that, Thomas O'Malley. Like, know your worth, King. Kick her to the fucking curb. You know what I mean? Like, save your milk for yourself. She ain't worth it. You could do better.
I second that.
Fuck Thomas O'Malley. He's a simp. Don't follow his lead.
Oh, I
Was
didn't
that
like
the
the
What Trini, do you have one?
yeah, the water guy from Elemental. I forgot his name.
Okay.
Oh, hold on.
Sounds like a
Wade Ripple.
Why?
He just cries all the time. He's
Okay.
just like he's super emotional and he's just kind of boring.
Who's the most righteous Disney protagonist?
Righteous or
Kelly
like who we
Buick
like the most?
said,
or
Don't
cool
make
or
fun of your grandmom.
grandmom.
Why
Where
am
did
I-
that come from?
I'm not making fun of you. Or wait, my grandmom. What do you? I don't think I am making fun of her. Am I?
I don't know.
Maybe I am.
Did your grandma voice one of the protagonists? Like-
No, but maybe I don't know. Sorry, Grandma, if I made fun of you. Who's the most righteous Disney protagonist? I have one. I say Tiana from Prince and the Frog, because she knows the value of hard work. Princess and the Frog. She knows the
Yeah,
value
she
of
was
hard
really
work.
good.
She's not trying to take any shortcuts. She's not trying to be saved by some prince with a castle. She knows that if she wants riches and fame and success, she needs to roll up her sleeves and lift herself up by her own bootstraps.
Well, then
you
what
know?
about Merida from Brave or
I've never seen Brave.
or Mulan from Mulan?
Sure.
Mulan's actually probably my favorite.
Kelly Buick said, single W3 Brad.
What?
I mean, hey, I'm not gonna make fun of anybody in my family, but it's not for me. You won't catch me doing that.
Did she just call us brats?
No, I think
No,
she's saying single with 3
My
brads.
mom is calling herself and her 2 siblings brats.
I thought you called me, you, and Jordan
I thought that
brats.
at first too, and I thought he was saying Chris is the single W and we're 3 brads.
Small W's.
All about the single W.
Alright, so what was the question again?
Who's the most righteous Disney protagonist?
I got a good one, but it's got to go around the table. So
It's
I need
gotta
No,
be
you
gotta
go
be
ahead.
someone who doesn't simp for a single mom.
Okay.
Whoever it is, that automatically disqualifies you from being righteous in my book.
Isn't it on Chris now, though? Or is it
No,
on me
Chris.
now?
Well, I don't think we've been taking turns. We're just
Yeah, if you got one, say it.
yeah.
Mal.
Mal
From
from Descent.
Mal from Descendants.
Descendants.
I
I
don't
haven't
think
seen
you've seen
Descendants either.
So, I mean,
Well,
the reason
well,
why
she was-
is because
She was
her,
a villain too. Well, I mean, they're all
no,
kind of like
her
villains.
mom
but-
was a villain.
Yeah, but she.
Her mom was Maleficent. but
Yeah, yeah.
She didn't know whether she wanted to be good or bad.
Yeah.
She was lost. So she ultimately chose that she
Yeah.
wanted to be a good guy.
But at first, she was kind of leaning more.
At
towards
first, she
being
was
bad.
rotten to the
Yeah,
core.
yeah.
You know?
Same with the other 3 that were with her.
Yeah, Jay, Carlos,
Yeah.
and Evie.
Yeah.
You know, their parents were villains.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Their parents wanted them to be villains, but they didn't want what their parents wanted.
Mhm. Yeah, that's pretty righteous.
You know?
Who's the most redeemable Disney villain? And I'm gonna say Hades from Hercules.
Oh, I love Hades.
He's just the god of the underworld. He's just
He's
doing
doing
his job. Yeah,
he was also given the short end of the stick
Yeah.
in every way.
He's redeemable in every way. He's
I don't know
not.
why I didn't mention him before. I
Um,
love Hades. He was better than Hercules. Hercules was annoying. That's another protagonist that was annoying.
Hercules was a brat by another
Yes.
single fucking
Single
dad. And
well, they were raising.
he was
together.
had out of
In-
wedlock.
in Greek
Zeus
mythology.
came down and
No, I think in the movie they're like. I don't
no.
think they get married. They're God.
no.
But-
No, Hercules is half god. He's Zeus' son
yeah.
with a mortal.
Wait, who's the mortal though?
Like
Yeah.
Hera or Thera.
Yeah, but that's
or
in
something.
Greek mythology, not in the movie.
Yeah, in the movie too. He was half human, half god.
No, he was
But
a full
who was-
god in the cartoon movie. he became. They gave him the potion or whatever that was supposed to kill him.
But they
Yeah.
didn't give him all.
But
of
there
it,
was
or-
Yeah,
still a
yeah.
drop
They changed the Greek mythology story
So
Okay.
because it was directed more
Yeah,
towards
so
kids.
he
Okay.
became.
But okay, so in
But
in-
Zeus actually
Zeus
came
was still
down.
kind of an asshole.
Zeus was a horn dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He would
But, like, he had,
transform into
like-
a bird and like pretend to be hurt, and then he would like just like transform back into Zeus, and he would just take them to Pound Town. That's exactly what happened.
Yo,
with
he might be
his
the most
mom, Greek
insufferable
mythology.
Disney protagonist.
I don't know if
then.
Zeus is a protagonist, really.
I mean, he's
barely in the movie.
he's also in Thor.
But
He's
are
in
we
Thor.
talking? We're talking about in a single movie, though, right? Not like different integrations of them.
Well, all right, but all right. Either way, we're on the most redeemable Disney villain. Does anyone have any other nominations?
Lex Luthor.
That's
No,
not
that's
Disney.
WB.
So Disney villains actually, technically, he is considered a Disney villain, but I think it's redeemable, and it's Pete.
Pete? Who's Pete?
Pete, you know.
Oh, Pete, the mouse, or he's a mouse.
Yeah, he's the real big
like
guy.
Mickey's.
Okay,
villain.
so the simple fact of the matter is Pete is the most redeemable, you know, I think, because Mickey Mouse original name used to be Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
And the boats were actually Pete's, and Mickey Mouse used to always steal his boats. You know?
Wait, is that canon? I didn't even know they
Yeah.
were Pete's.
They were Pete's boats. Like, that's serious. They were all Pete's boats, and Mickey Mouse used
He
to
also
steal
used
his
to be
boats.
Oswald the Rabbit.
Yeah.
What about Captain Hook? He seems like he could be a nice
Yeah,
guy.
Peter Pan's another insufferable
Wait, so
protagonist.
So why did all right? I'm gonna come to Peter Pan's defense, like, because for generations, women who have wanted a man to commit to them against his will have
Wait, what?
have characterized him as having like Peter Pan syndrome. Like, why? Because
Wait,
he,
that's a thing?
yeah, Peter Pan syndrome is like a man who's unwilling to grow up.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's
But,
because
like-
he is unwilling to grow up.
Well, Peter Pan is, but like a lot of men are just taking their time being patient,
Yeah, but
waiting
that's
for the right
people
one.
comparing them in like in one single aspect is that they're not grown up.
Yeah.
But who? Wait, like what?
I don't think that I would say someone who doesn't want to commit right now is necessarily comparable to Peter Pan. But
They are, you know,
That's-
they are
that's
often characterized that way. Wait, what makes Hook redeemable?
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
I just thought of one. Kim Possible's villains. Shigo.
Shigo,
Yeah, it's on the Disney
yeah.
Channel.
Okay.
Shigo and
I don't know these
what's
people.
the Dr. Franken or Dr. something?
Draken.
Draken, yeah, that's it. Dr. Draken was pretty redeemable too. He was funny also.
Shigo.
Shigo was a badass.
Shigo, yeah. I mean, if I was in Kim Possible, I'd have taken her to Pound Town. Bro.
Dude, everyone
That's
loves
it.
Shigo, like more than Kim Possible.
And did we get who's the most insufferable Disney villain?
I thought we did that. Or
Kelly
No.
Buick said, Chris, I like that you don't have a
or
crew
no, we
cut.
did
I actually am going to cut it probably pretty soon.
the. She says she likes that you don't.
Well,
Insufferable Disney villain. I don't know.
the guy from what's that movie in Dia de los Coco? The Coco villain's pretty
Oh
insufferable.
my god, yeah. I hate that guy.
He's like a fraud, fucking fraud.
He pretends to be the protagonist,
Yeah.
basically. Like, and it was kind of it was pretty predictable.
Yeah.
Like, he did not seem like the good guy.
The evil queen.
For what movie is that?
Sleeping Beauty or
I
Sleeping
think
Beauty,
it's
right?
Snow
Or is it Snow White?
Mirror, mirror
It's
on
such a
the wall.
generic-
Who's the fairest
yeah,
of them
yeah.
all? Snow
Not,
Snow
White.
not
White,
you,
yeah.
bitch. Not you. That's all I got to say.
It's
How
Snow
about
White.
Ursula?
Nah, dude. Ursula's like.
She's just after her voice, and she's like really not attractive.
What?
Like
What,
your
big,
boy.
big women need loving too. Are you saying that Ursula's not attractive because she's portly? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and she's a
The
fucking
evil
octopus.
queen only-
She's an octopus, Joe. Get that fucking.
And her face is disgusting. She's old. She
Does
has
she have
her white
giants? Is
hair.
that what you're saying?
She does.
The evil queen only caught her resentment was because the mirror said it wasn't her.
Yeah, and honestly, the evil queen wasn't even that bad looking.
She only
Just
caught her,
wasn't the
she only
fairest of
caught
them
her
all.
resentment.
Is that
because Snow White was the
Maleficent?
fairest of them
No,
all.
Maleficent's Sleeping Beauty.
Is the
Right?
the fairest just means most pale skin, right?
I would think, but
Why do you
Or
want
the-
that? I don't know. I want to like.
because
I want
it was
I wanna
thought
know
of
that
at
maybe-
the time as the pretty. It's kind of racist,
It's white,
honestly.
white privilege is what it is.
Yeah, so
This racism is killing me inside.
Snow White's literally like out in the front yard or whatever, and it shows Snow White in a magic mirror, and she's got fucking birds like
Yeah.
on her shoulder, like whistling along to the fucking songs
And
she's singing,
squirrels,
you know?
rabbits.
Yeah, and like all the fucking
Yeah,
animals
all
of
the
the forest,
deers,
you know,
yeah.
are just right next to her, just whistling along like.
All right. All right. I think if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. What do what do you guys stand for? I stand for traditionalism, rigid gender roles, the reassembly of the nuclear family, spiritual service, non-toxic fulfillment, and living a lifestyle that will lead to the least possible regret because YOLO. So, what do you guys stand for? Are there any hills you're willing to die on?
I stand for my friends.
Okay.
That's
How?
what Shulk says in Xenoblade. I fight for my friends.
Said, Snow White was dropping acid.
Yo, Alice in Wonderland was on that. Sid.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's another terrible villain, the Queen of Hearts.
No.
God.
All right. In her defense, she was being led
she
by
did
a
invade,
simp.
like,
She was being led by a simp, and if you're being led,
by a simp.
if you're being,
She
if
led
you're,
him.
if you're paired with a simp, it's his fucking fault, dude.
What?
That man should have put her in her place,
Okay.
and she needed it desperately, but he didn't do it. He just let her walk all over everybody. He should have put her in her fucking place. What hills are you guys willing to die on?
I mean, I'm not willing to die on anything.
No,
Not really.
Chris, do you have anything you want to say to the world? Like what?
Uncomfortable truths.
Yeah, do you have any uncomfortable
Going
truths?
full circle.
Yeah, honesty. Yeah.
Honesty.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
can't be honest, that's yeah.
Dan, anything you want to say to the world? What do you stand for?
What do I stand for? You know, I stand for living a better way of life. I stand for being able to help people find a better way of life. One that I have found, you know,
Mhm.
help people walk the same path because, you know, I came out the womb like an addict, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I sucked that nipple so hard. It
Oh my God.
But nah, I mean, if I don't help somebody find what was so freely given to me, then what do I really stand for? Nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's a good way to be.
every time I try to help somebody, I mean, they might not hit me back for like 4 months, and then we got to start all over again. I get so mad. I do. Every time I get so mad when I say we're starting from like square one. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, you don't like it, find somebody else. But guess what? They're going to make you start at square one too.
Yeah.
You know? I get mad. I do. I don't care about making people mad though.
Sometimes you gotta share the uncomfortable
Uncomfortable
truths. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys think it's a red flag if a woman will not take your last name or wants to hyphenate your last names?
Why is that a red flag?
Just shows like she's got a little bit of reservations, I suppose.
I mean, I didn't understand that. I never really cared about changing the last name. I don't know why that's a tradition.
Well, I mean, my
I guess the stubbornness to absolutely not do it is kind of a red flag, sure.
Sure.
But
my
I don't care about the name thing.
My brother got married or whatever.
Mhm.
I don't know if they're married yet, but they're gonna get married. I know that she's gonna, because they have a son and the last name is hyphenated.
Mm-hmm.
But she's Puerto Rican. In Puerto Rican culture, that's what they do.
Yeah.
So when she marries my brother, when they get married eventually, that's probably what they're gonna do.
Is that even true? I've
is.
never
What?
ever met a Hispanic person with a hyphenated.
Well, they're
name
not
in my life.
hyphen. They're usually like space.
Nah, they're hyphenated. Like my friend Jose, his name is Jose Daniel Cruz Mercado.
Yeah, but I thought
With
they
a
were
hyphen.
like just spaces.
Nah, it's hyphenated.
Because
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I go through a lot of accounts at my job,
In
and there's a
Mexican-
lot of Hispanic ones that have multiple last names.
Really?
Many
Okay.
last names.
But
It's
but one
pretty
of them
common.
is a confirmation name, right?
Well, the mother usually always keeps the maiden name.
Hmm.
In Puerto Rican culture, Mexican culture, it's spaced out. Puerto Rican culture, it's hyphenated.
Maybe it's Mexican. I'm thinking of.
So yeah, and Puerto Rican culture, it's hyphenated.
Okay.
So the mothers usually always keep the maiden name, but they also take the father's last name. So I mean, in certain instances, like me personally, like if there's a girl whose name is like long as shit, my last name's long as shit. You really want to hyphenate that and spell
Yeah.
all that shit? Like I hate spelling my own last name, let
Well-
alone spelling yours too. Like what the fuck? You're gonna have to learn how to spell mine
letter
on top of
keepers,
yours,
then.
huh?
Just letter keepers
Mm.
then. Why are you? Is that a red flag? Is it a red flag that you must have them take on your name?
I don't know. My
No.
ex,
Why would
Not.
it be? Why is that a red
Because
my
flag?
ex-wife got
why
married.
do they have to take on your name?
Sorry, you saying my red flag is a red flag? Well, like
I'm
'cause
saying
then
it's a red flag either way to be stubborn. Yeah.
when me and my ex-wife
I'm
got
not
married, she
stubborn.
didn't
Like,
take
it-
my last name.
you're just
No.
it's gonna be that way, or we can like go our separate ways.
That's
You know what I
literally
mean? I'll-
being stubborn. Yeah.
I'll be like yeah, like I have standards
My
Okay.
ex-wife was a
Because
fucking bitch
Why is it a
anyway.
standard? You
Because
have
I
to
s-
have that.
because I stand for
No comment.
I stand for
You went
traditionalism.
right back. Yeah, I
Rigid
don't
gender
like
roles, the reassembly of the nuclear family, spiritual service. I stand for traditionalism of rigid gender
But
roles.
why do you stand for traditionalism? You're just kind of doing it just cause. What benefit does changing your last name do?
It's just
It's just a tradition. Yeah.
it's just literal symbolism of the disjointed nature that is the nuclear family. Like you got this last name. If it's all just in the same
okay, so
family,
why can't the man take on the last name of the woman?
I suppose he could. It's just very like it's very simpy. Like them like the
Sounds like patriarchal.
It's so funny you said that. I was going to say, because what do I look like, a simp?
yeah, that's literally what it is.
Oh
Like
my god.
it's simpy.
I ain't ever taken no bro's last name.
Yeah. I mean, do you?
My last name is my last name, you know what I'm saying? My name got mashed together, like, because I was adopted by two men. So my last name is literally two names mashed together,
Wait,
not
really?
hyphenated.
Yeah,
What-
how
what-
do men do it? How do men give their last name to a man?
That's a good question. I guess they do
They
this.
hyphenate.
So
they did not.
or I guess some.
So when my parents adopted me, because I was adopted by a gay couple, when they adopted me, what they said was it would be unfair to give them one last name because we both adopted them,
Mhm.
you know, and to hyphenate it with saying they have two last names. So you just put it together, making my last name, both their last names combined together. One's name was Scott Loper, the other's name was Joseph LeVay, thus making my name Daniel Loper LeVay.
Ah, I always thought it was Loperville.
That proves you're not French.
Oh my All right. So wait, did you answer, Chris? Do you think it's a red flag if a woman will not take your last name fully?
Yeah, I think that is a red flag.
Yeah.
It's a little odd.
To me it just shows like
Reservation.
not going full. Yeah, not going full in.
Yeah.
You know, trying to like. You know,
Where's the compromise? That's just that they have to go full in to take your name, but you don't have to do anything with your name. You just keep it.
I mean, as the man, I'm assuming tremendous risk in marrying a woman with no fault divorce, with the way that the court system is set up.
Even regardless of no fault divorce, it seems like it didn't really matter with
But-
fault divorce.
But men are impacted tremendously from women breaking up with them. They're
a prenup and a postnup.
sure. Part of my prenuptial agreement is you're taking this name, or like we're not going to do this. You know what I mean?
I mean, my wife sent me the divorce
Sounds like a
papers
red
in the
flag.
mail, and I said, "Yes, this fucking bitch is finally done."
It sounds like you want them to compromise more than you are willing to compromise.
It's not a compromise. It's
It's
either,
not a compromise.
it's
You're
either-
making them.
It's
do it.
either we're gonna get married or we're not. Or I'll
It sounds
find
like you're not getting married.
not to a woman who has reservations.
Okay. Reservation.
Yeah,
They
she
just
wants to
don't-
reserve her maiden name. It's called a maiden
And you
name.
want to
because-
reserve your name.
yeah,
So it's
I want to
literally not
continue.
compromising.
I want to continue the legacy of my family.
You can do that with a hyphen.
Or get the
Mm,
fuck
no.
out.
And they want to continue the lineage of theirs as well.
What the lineage of their grandfather's name?
Just their parents.
So what? So
Their whole family.
what are if we really break this down? How many generations before someone has just this fucking word salad of a name?
I mean, we already
14.
have that in Mexican culture and Puerto Rican culture.
I think mostly people go by the last name of their father though.
No,
they might have
They
might
literally
have it on their
don't.
birth
I
certificate,
look
but-
at accounts every day and they always have multiple last names for it.
do they have have you seen four last names?
Yeah.
Have you seen 8 last names?
Why not 8? But what? How far do you want to go with it?
Well,
I'm sure they exist.
How far, it just can quickly become gratuitous. Hey, what are you fucking getting bored over here? You fucking turning on what are you
Sounded
doing
like
over
a
there?
phone call. With
That was a
What are you
phone
doing?
call.
Oh, okay.
Like he's not allowed to have someone call him.
What's a red flag job position for a partner?
Job position. I mean, I guess in the adult industry.
Like a porn star or a stripper?
Sure.
What do you say, Chris?
Let's say porn star, stripper, or one of them tug and rub girls.
It'd be pretty nice getting a massage from one of them, but
What are you, Deshaun Watson?
what about working in a slaughterhouse?
Why is that a red flag?
She would just be listening to the torturous screeches of animals
Put a
dying.
head
That'd be
on my
pretty.
eye.
That'd be pretty cool.
Murderer. She's a little fucking animal murderer. I would,
Okay. Did she put some food on the table?
no, I don't need her to put food on the table.
What about a
I-
more-
What you got? You gotta buy it from somewhere.
Like a mortician?
exactly.
She's one of those people that gets it to you.
I think that it would. I think that it
Are you a vegetarian? What do you?
No, but there's a what's the
Trying
famous
to be
saying?
blind? Or-
No, what's the famous saying? You don't want to see how
Shit
the
where
meat
you
is
eat,
made or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't.
Well, you don't
like,
have to
It's like
go.
Taco
you
Bell.
don't have to go there.
you don't think that she's gonna have any PTSD of seeing just slaughter on a
Pretty sure
daily
she'd
basis?
Probably be numb to it by then.
She's probably her soul has probably diminished in some way.
It's just a job.
She's just got this cattle prod. She's just fucking
Why is
murdering
that the first one you went to? Is just killing animals.
slaughterhouse? Because it's a very
I would have thought you'd say adult industry too.
nah. Because that's
Because we already said it.
yeah,
It's
that's a
obvious.
cliche. But I
It's not
actually
a cliche. It's just true.
I would actually be more concerned about my partner's emotional well-being if she was murdering animals.
Okay,
every
how
single day.
about just being in the military?
No, because I think you can be in the military and
Yeah,
serve with
don't-
honor and
Well, you can serve with honor and still kill people.
yeah, but I don't think
they
there's
usually give medal
I don't
honors
think-
specifically.
I don't
for
think there's
that.
any honor to mass murdering animals on
But there is the killing people.
I think there can be. Yeah, I think if you're doing it to preserve democracy, if you're doing it to.
What if you're just doing it for your country, but your country's in the wrong?
Then
Like
it-
Vietnam.
Sure, yeah. I mean that could definitely be concerning. Yeah, but like a lot of the people in Vietnam were drafted. They weren't
Yeah.
like, hey, I want to go over and murder Viet Cong. You know.
I mean, they did, and were.
I mean, and their soul was diminished
Yeah.
by it. You know, PTSD and.
I do think that's different and to a worse degree than animals. Though.
Well, yeah, because like
Which
I
is
think
my
most people put a priority on human life
yes,
over animal
very,
life,
because
but
we eat animals, we don't eat humans.
but I don't think there should be such a drastic like.
Okay,
I
stop
think
eating
murder is
animals,
murder. Well,
If you're gonna put such a moral high ground on it, you should practice what you preach.
I don't put such a moral high ground.
You
but I
sound-
put
it's
a
the
moral,
first-
like,
It's the first thing you stated for a red flag job.
I also think I don't know. What about you, Dan? Do you think there's any red flag job positions for a partner?
Yeah, an escort.
Okay, well,
Mass
like,
whore.
a whore.
So basically, what we said.
Yeah. Any others?
I mean, any others that would be a red flag? I mean, girl works in a slaughterhouse.
It's
Whatever.
bad, right?
He said it's whatever.
It's whatever.
It's whatever. That's like her job. You know what I
What?
mean? If that's bringing money to the table, like, yo, if a chick's working in a
I
slaughterhouse,
don't like.
she's making like fucking like $100,000 a
Right.
year, probably.
Is that
You know what I'm saying?
true? I don't even know if that's.
I don't know what
true.
they make, but-
don't you think they're like 6-figure people?
So wait, if they're making a lot as a porn star, you'd be fine with it?
it's a good point.
Well, I
Good point.
mean, I mean, if you're sitting there and you're a porn star or whatever, like, I mean, yeah, that's your job, though. I want you to do it forever. Like, no. I mean, but if I first meet you or whatever, and we're talking, and I'm like, what do you do for a job? And you tell me you're a porn star, what am I going to say? You know what I mean? I work in a fucking flower shop. You know? What am I going to say? Am I going to be like, oh, well, this is the first and last date? Like, nah, like, you know, like, and it's like, boom, what if we hit it off and they just don't want to be in the adult industry?
So are we just talking about like a slaughterhouse butcher?
Yes.
The average is $18.97 an hour. Wages,
Trash.
wages,
Trash. So you're
wages
gonna
range from $15.87 to $21.15.
yeah. So they're
They're not making $100.
they're irrevocably destroying their soul.
It was just that was just
Yeah, but- I mean, I'm not hurting for money so much
The
that I need
average-
to subject my woman to these fucking immoral.
But I mean, a red flag.
The average annual wage for the animal slaughtering and processing industry was $46,000,
Trash.
which was $18,000 less than the national average
Mm-hmm.
of $64,000.
Well, that meets our standard for 40,000.
I think.
Yeah, right.
I think most of them fucking.
And his of 30,000.
I think most of them have this like weird sadistic fucking desire to like murder.
What do you
Like,
know? A slaughterhouse woman like that?
what is their excuse? If
What do you
it's
mean?
not, if they don't even make much money, they
They
make.
probably grew up there. I don't think there's that many people wanting to like search for a slaughterhouse job. I think it's usually they live in like middle America in farmland area
It's
and
a
they
farm.
that is farming.
Farm,
That's animal farm.
farm when the animals are like still alive at the end of the
Probably
day.
do both.
You want to work in a slaughterhouse?
I would. You're asking me if I would?
You wouldn't?
No, I don't want to be in.
I
don't
worked
wanna
on
work
a-
anywhere where lives are being taken, like where hundreds of lives are being taken in a shift. Like that would.
Well,
That would make me like I'd put my head on the pillow and I'd hear like bah. And I'd be like, oh fuck. Like,
what's the difference between working in a slaughterhouse and shooting a deer with a crossbow?
Well, I don't think he does that either. But
I have never hunted, but I mean, I think it's like a little bit like to the Native American. Like if you're using all of the animal,
I mean,
it's a little bit more respectable.
well, what if you use it all from a slaughterhouse?
They don't. They like let so
Usually
much,
they don't. Yeah.
They let so much
genocide.
of it go to waste.
don't you eat meat?
I do eat meat. So what are you gonna call me a hypocrite
Yes.
because I eat meat?
Yes. You're eating what this hypothetical woman would be making.
Slap that wiener, wrap that wiener, tap that wiener.
What?
And if you tap that wiener, check rotisserie chicken.
There's just like so many like I mean you just I know you're a fucking Yum Brands investor.
I sold it.
Yeah, like dude, like there are a lot of fucking bad parts about the meat industry. Like
Do you still want me to talk about that?
sure. Talk about the big moves you made today.
Well, I sold all of Disney yesterday, or was it yesterday or 2 days?
I think it was yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah.
I sold Yum Brands, which is Pizza Hut and Burger King, or not Burger King, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, KFC, and others. And I sold all of ExxonMobil and FedEx. To invest it all into Equinor, which is an energy company in Denmark. And they have a monster dividend, and they're at a pretty low price right now.
What's Monster percentage wise?
Its percentage right now is like 7%.
Okay.
And they give out special dividends, which are twice the amount.
How often?
Sometimes like twice a year, sometimes once a year. It varies.
But the reason why I brought up Yum Brands is because they're like the number one offender for like inhumane, and I know they're not dealing with humans, so it's okay to be inhumane to chickens, I suppose. But they're like
God gave us dominion over the beast.
it's true. But like I think part of that was like for us to care for them, not to chop their beaks off so we could fit more in like a truck, which is what KFC does.
I mean, I don't know if God really cared if he exists. I don't know if he really cared whether we ate them or like
he didn't want us to like pump fucking chickens with high GMOs. He didn't want us to pump chickens with high GMOs so that their breast weight outweighed their fucking we're not supposed to be like
their breasts are huger than women's breasts.
Motorboat? You play the motorboat? You motorboat son of a bitch, you old sailor, you.
We're not supposed to be like motorboating these chicken breasts. Like
I'm eating them.
Like, a lot of the time what happens is their little skinny legs, their little chicken legs, cannot support the weight of their big bosoms. And they like
gotta exercise more.
They like break legs. A lot of the times they're kept in like super small spaces.
Yeah.
Like
they're kept in like they cannot move in what they're kept in. It's really messed up.
Also, us fat fucks in America can eat a bunch of chicken parm and fucking fried chicken and have our wings and shit. Like I think I don't know. The meat industry, it's very horrific. And I don't want to date anyone who is so close to it that they're like telling me, like if she's laying her head on my chest at the end of the night, I'm like, oh baby, how was your day? Oh, it was horrible.
So terrible.
It was horrible.
We killed like 200 instead of 100.
It was a bloodbath. Like, no,
I loved it. It was a great day.
Like,
we killed millions.
Yeah, I don't even want her to like fucking.
I mean, she doesn't have to tell you about her day.
Well, you don't like the smell of
or
death?
At least not about. Also, where are you gonna be in the area to date one? Like you're urban suburban area. I don't think you're gonna be near a lot of slaughterhouse women.
Well, I might move at some point in my life, like especially if
to what, like Kansas? Like where are you gonna move to?
Why not? Cheap cost of living.
Sure, I guess.
Like you could get like gigantic mansions out in Nebraska and like South Dakota for like fucking $300,000. You can get like a mansion. So if I happen to meet some woman who's good with her hands, I'm gonna make sure that she's not a murderer. Speaking about a murderer,
what?
If you were to find out how many abortions does a single woman need to have before you raise a red flag? Dan, I'm looking at you.
How many abortions does a woman need to have?
Before you're like, it's like a
mean,
Purdue factory in here.
Purdue.
or Tyson.
We'll produce one too.
Considering the fact of the matter that abortions are outlawed now.
Well,
Like,
they're not outlawed. It's like some states.
let's say you meet a girl who's from sunny California, where women are able to do it as much as they want. How many abortions before you're like simply uninterested in starting a family with her?
I'm gonna say probably like 3.
3, that's a lot. What about you, Chris?
That's irrelevant to me.
Like, is one too many?
What's that?
Like, if she had one abortion, are you so like it's irrelevant to you, as in like
We're not gonna have kids.
yeah. Okay, so if
They
she
might
had
have more abortions.
if she had like
Don't tell me about it. I don't want to know.
Oh my god!
After the first time.
Don't tell them about your day at the slaughterhouse.
Don't ask them that.
I want to hear about it.
The first time they're gonna be like, they came back and said, I got an abortion today. I'd be like, "Are you fucking serious?" You know what I mean? Then I'm gonna let it slide. Second time, they're gonna be like, "I got another abortion." I'll be like, "What the fuck?" And after the third time, I'm probably gonna say something like, "You stupid bitch!
Well, wait.
Get the fuck out!"
So you
Are
say-
they dating you or in this scenario, or is this
Yeah.
like?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about how many abortions from like before dating.
Yeah, no, yeah. This is not with you.
Yeah, I was
This is just
confused.
in her history.
Oh, in her history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell me about it.
So if she,
That's what I said.
Please don't
That's
tell
what I.
me about
Yeah, I
it.
don't want to know.
You're like, oh yeah, by the way, I got like 17 abortions, you know?
I'm not going to judge you on your past.
Yeah, just don't tell me. Like, I
see,
don't-
Well, he's the most judgmental. Person,
Yeah,
so
I
that's
am.
why he brought it.
but
up.
I think that women care where a man's
Rich
going.
K said, made it better late than never, I think.
Yeah, we're talking about abortions,
so
Rich, and
you have to
slaughterhouses.
judge where they're going based on their past.
No, women judge men based on where they think men are going. Men judge women based
their
on where
past.
they've been.
So I think we should change that. I think we should judge them on where they're going.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I think it's better to look at their prospects and their past.
all right. So, what's your answer to this question?
The same as his. It's irrelevant to me.
It's irrelevant.
Yes.
If you found out through the grapevine that she's had
I'm
6
pro-choice.
abortions,
I don't care.
oh my lord, just so complicit in the fucking degeneracy of society, in my opinion. But
Okay.
maybe I'm just being judgmental. I apologize.
Yes. You don't apologize.
I mean, through the grapevine.
You're talking about dating the slaughterhouse chick.
She doesn't want
I
it.
don't want that. Like,
No.
It's a red flag.
One of nice, wholesome woman that's not aborting her fetuses, not murdering lamb chops and,
So,
and calves.
What
for
job is
meals.
wholesome for you?
Like something simple, like she's a baker or something, something not fucking so grotesque.
Bakers use milk.
Yeah, but like there's a big difference between dead animals and exploited animals.
What? Why is exploited better?
Because they're not
It's
killed.
painful
It's not.
to them.
It is.
Once they're murdered, they're not feeling pain anymore.
Okay, so are you saying that you would rather be
I
murdered or
just don't-
exploited for your resources?
If I'm in pain constantly, I'd probably rather be murdered. Yeah.
All right. How many kids does a single woman need to have before you raise a red flag, Journey?
I mean, I don't particularly want kids, but I wouldn't say it's like a red flag if they have kids.
So you would entertain dating a woman who had 4 kids?
I guess. I mean, they'll all be at like different ages.
They'll all be at different ages.
Well,
You don't think
most
that
likely. God,
No,
they can't have a
okay,
quadruplet.
so she could have quadruplets, I suppose. But
Be
like
octopus.
either way, that's 4 extra mouths that you have to feed. You don't think that it's
Well,
going to be
if I don't think I can support it, or both of us support it, then no, I wouldn't be interested in it.
Well, how many? does
In my current like time, and what are we assuming their wage is?
The kids?
No, no, the potential partner.
I mean, dude, she's probably. I mean,
What, welfare? Is that what you're trying to say?
probably she's
Probably.
probably getting child support. She's probably getting some.
Oh,
type
then
of
I don't need a
spousal-
support.
She's probably getting some type of spousal support. Your involvement in this situation is going to jeopardize that. There might be a resentful father of the
Wouldn't
kids, and
they
he might.
still have to pay.
Yeah, probably, but like, if you're able to pay, you think she's gonna allow you to just be this like not feed them ever?
I mean, it's not my job to. If she's that
I
I'm not
know,
gonna
but
be with her. she's-
Okay, but in most situations, do you think like,
I
a single-
probably would help regardless because that's just how I am as a person. But like, if
So-
I don't think I can support them, and if I'm being like, I'm told that I'm that's like a must, then I'm not gonna be interested.
So what's the answer to the question?
I don't know. Like
How many kids can a woman be carrying around with her in single modernity before you're like, you know what, this isn't for me?
if we're talking about in this current situation with in terms of money, I would say probably none.
What? Yeah. Okay.
No, none.
Good. Yeah. Good man. Like that's all I'm asking.
It's not like a permanent answer. It's not like something I can't do.
Like if you're taking two women of equal value, all things,
Then yeah, I'll
all
prefer
things being
zero.
equal. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. What about you, Chris?
I prefer 0.
Yeah, exactly. Dan,
But weren't you saying what a limit is? Not like,
yeah, your limit can be 0.
but that's not my limit. That's just what I would prefer. It's like what you.
This does not exist.
It's like what you're saying with the what's it called? The emulator. What's it called?
I don't.
Where
The delusion
the
calculator you're
delusion
talking about?
calculator.
Yeah.
Where it's not supposed to be preferences, it's supposed to be a limit.
But,
Like
all right,
you
well,
wouldn't do that. At
yeah, for
all.
me, it's not a preference. It's a limit.
'Cause,
the
like,
limit
with
is 0.
me-
The limit does not.
with me,
exist.
it's either. It's not no kids.
Okay. Dan, you didn't answer.
Nah.
How many kids before you're like, you know what? Nah.
One.
One. So you would tolerate one kid.
I'll tolerate one kid.
Okay.
My ex-wife had a son.
Okay.
You know, that wasn't mine, you know? But
You
two,
never mentioned it. I didn't know this.
yeah,
This
he
is
was a
news.
little fucking shithead. Yeah, and she was a raging bitch.
Were you allowed to discipline him?
Never did.
Okay. But would it have been would it have been a colossal fight if you disciplined him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Did you feed him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would take him, we would go to the store or whatever, or a restaurant, and then order, and then he would never eat the fucking food.
That's
So-
every kid.
So basically, it was expected of you to
Was
have all of
expected
the. It
or
was
did you
expected
do
of
it
you.
on your own will.
That's a good question. But was it expected of you, or did you do it on your own? Probably a little bit of
A
both. I
little
would
bit
say.
of both.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes she paid, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But basically, what you're saying is you had all of the responsibility of fatherhood, but none of the privilege of fatherhood, right?
Pretty much.
Privilege.
Yeah.
What privilege?
Now, I mean,
Like the actual father, like
Yeah, like you have the privilege of disciplining your own child. You have the
this kid
privilege
was-
of seeing them like hit their first home run in little league and being like, "That's my boy," like you know. But
well, you
like,
can still say
This kid was
Mm.
a spoiled brat.
that.
You know?
Well, good. You don't have to be proud of him.
This kid was a spoiled brat. you
really,
know?
a kid raised without his father was a spoiled brat. That's so surprising to me.
He was a spoiled brat, and his grandparents let him do whatever he wanted. His mother let him do whatever he wanted. He frolicked like a girl. And I told him, I said, yo, run like a fucking dude.
What was the dad in the picture?
He goes there like every weekend or whatever.
Okay, so a weekend dad, which is very common. Like,
Yeah. He
You
would
know.
go over to his house like every weekend or every other weekend or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, and so I don't know what I'm like, yeah, one like a fucking dude. And then my ex-wife was like, don't you talk to him like that. I said, fuck you, bitch, blah, blah, blah. So fucking, that was almost a breakup right there. And now, like, but I mean, if I walk, and then if a girl's like, oh yeah, by the way, I have 2 kids, and we'd be like, really? I might tolerate it. But if I walk in and I see a chick that has 4 kids sitting at the table and we're supposed to go on a date, I'm walking back out that door. I'm going, fuck that.
They're bringing the kids on the date.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
right. If I walk in the door and I see 4 kids like sitting at the table in this restaurant, I'm fucking going.
I would think normally they'd find a babysitter if they're going
I
out
don't
on a
know.
date.
A lot of modern women expect the man that they're dating to procure the babysitter and pay for it.
But on the first date?
Yep.
What? Who? I don't think that's true.
Like, look around the internet. It happens all the
So,
time.
I'm sure it happens. I don't
would
think it's
literally
like
100% walk in that door and walk right out. Bitch, you're getting stood the fuck up.
I think majority of the time,
All
I mean,
wisdom.
at the absolute least, these kids are like a big inconvenience on, like a mother's time. Like, you're able to spend less time connecting with her. That's at the least. At the most, they're like a gigantic. They're a gigantic suck on the household resources. But either way,
Are you advocating for no kids?
I'm advocating for families to do everything in their power to stay together, because I think that the nuclear family is like the bedrock of society. It's incredibly problematic that we've replaced actual fatherhood with child support. Nearly every single metric points to fatherlessness being a correlative for disastrous results. Why do you think the state is promoting the replacing of fathers with their paychecks?
Because men are walking out.
Do you think
No,
that
we're
men
not
are walking out?
No.
No. Do you think women are
I think
divorcing
there's
men
both.
more than men are divorcing women?
Sure.
Then how can you say men are walking out? How can you not say that more women are walking out?
It's like they don't even give you a choice.
Yeah, and
They're pushing you out.
yeah,
And they're using the courts and
Yeah.
to fucking cut your balls off.
yeah, like, and most custody courts are ruling in favor of the women. They're never saying, like, it seems almost never to be, all right, this parent gets 50% custody, this parent gets 50% custody. It's always like turning them into the weekend dad, like Dan was just talking about. It's always like, all right, this mother is going to get these kids, the dad's going to see them every weekend or every other weekend, if that, and he's going to provide child support instead of just
After he spends like thousands on a lawyer.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, if she cannot afford a lawyer, it comes out of the father's paycheck to pay for her lawyer to fucking rip his heart out.
The thing about
It sucks.
Wait, I don't think they pay for
with
their,
my
the
ex-wife's
wife's
son,
lawyer.
Yeah,
In
his-
certain
his
situations.
father actually
What,
doesn't
like,
have to pay child
Cheating or
support.
what situation?
Well, basically they can go get call a guy an abuser. Like the PFAs have increased. So then if a guy wants to fight for their kids, he has to pay the her attorney fees during those custody hearings.
Doesn't that have to be proven though?
No,
Maybe they just go by the allegation.
they can just go say he's gonna kill me, and they'll automatically give them give him a PFA.
If police
That's what happened to me.
If police are called to a house for a domestic disturbance, they have to remove one of the parties from the house. It's like the law. And like, who do you think they remove from the house more?
Man.
The man, because the kids are more comfortable with mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's understandable, but it's
Well, what on this podcast we like comfort is like a fucking the C. That's like the C word. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
What is most comfortable for you is very rarely what is right for you or what is best for you. So I think the state is just the state is I'm not exactly sure their motives, but they're clearly trying to destroy the nuclear family and the
I don't think they're trying to. I think they're
well, they are.
resulting.
They are.
Yeah.
Maybe
Mhm.
maybe it's not their intention, but they are destroying the nuclear family, and a result of that is society is deteriorating right before our eyes.
No.
Got any optimistic topics?
All right. I'm gonna make Chris here an offer he can't refuse.
I want some comfort.
All right, maybe I'll try and make you guys
I'm kidding,
laugh
I
for
don't
the
really
end
care.
of this. Wait, where is? I gotta find this first. Here we go. Christopher, you come to me on the day of my podcast. Now listen to me. I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. One of the greatest ways that you can obtain generational wealth is you can start investing with a commission-free brokerage. You invest in the stock market. Take maybe 5-10% of your weekly paycheck. You put it in the market, a good S&P company. You're gonna make a lot of money. I have a SoFi app, Southern Fidelity. I'd love to give you a referral code. If you do, it's gonna make me, I don't know, like,
$75.
I think $50 will make you $25. You can't refuse this. You can't refuse. What do you say?
I can't refuse it.
All right, there we go.
That's a verbal commitment.
Can't take it back.
My ex-wife gets half of it.
So you get $12.50.
Yeah.
Is your divorce is not finalized, right?
No, it's not. It's been 17.
Shit, maybe we want to
Wait on it.
keep this on the DL.
Well, yeah, saying it on a podcast is keeping it on the TL.
Or maybe, yeah, that is tricky. Do you have a bank account?
I mean, I got a PayPal account.
Okay.
I also have a digital bank account called Varo.
Okay.
It's like a regular bank account.
Come talk to me on the day that you get a brick and mortar bank account. Okay? I'll set you up.
Does it have to be brick and mortar?
I like maybe not, but I think
I don't even know what I need to open a bank account.
you just need a social security card and a
I
photo
don't,
ID.
I don't think you need a social security card.
You
You don't need it for a credit union.
Do you need a photo ID?
You need photo
at least-
ID.
I'm sure
government photo ID, and then secondary ID, which can be a social security card.
Do you want to give him a Godfather offer to join first?
It doesn't benefit.
What are you, old century? What is it?
We're American.
American.
You also have first.
You gotta join American Heritage. Be part of the family. You understand?
Okay.
He didn't refuse.
Okay, cool.
All right. Now I got.
Where is it?
We have branches like throughout Philly.
There's one on the
There's
bypass.
There's one in Langhorne. There's one in Warminster, Fairless Hills, Feasterville.
Which one do you work at?
I work at the main.
Oh yeah, there's one on Fairless Hills, right next to the YMCA. You know where I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Right next to the YMCA, there's American Heritage.
I work at the main branch. It's called the Carriage House. It's where all the lights are. Like they have a Thanksgiving's like the day after Thanksgiving, or sorry, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. They have like a light show and fireworks, like all over the buildings and stuff.
Where is it?
It's in off Red Lion Road and like close to Bustleton Road, Haldeman.
Well, it's in like Philly.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're getting down to it. We got our backs against the ropes, like Logan. What's his name? Logan Paul is gonna be tonight.
Jake Paul.
Is that the name?
Jake Paul. So I want to fit this in. This is my offer that I'm gonna make to the viewers. Guys.
I want to do it. Oh.
We have a Patreon, and my mom said, I don't want to give money to my son. He's begging on the internet for money. I don't want to do it. Fuck that. All right?
This is an offer you can't refuse.
This is an offer you can't refuse, guys. For just as little as $1 a month, you can support our podcast. I mean, the pizza, the Cokes, the cannolis, the neon lights, I put my heart and soul into this. I know Cherry doesn't believe in souls, but I
I was about to
believe
say that.
I believe you people out there, you listeners, you have shit. You guys have souls. Please become a paid subscriber to our Patreon, $1 a month, and you can be part of a rapidly growing fellowship that is supporting us and seeing all of our dreams be met. Support the Patreon. The link is in the description. I think at this time, do you guys want to share any gratitudes, any critiques, any constructive feedback on our content production, quality sound clips to include, reprimand us for some barbaric opinions we may have, think of guests we should include in the future? How can we better market our product?
Yeah, I'll bash your opinions because you're you, Biamo.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. Thank you for promoting your UVM. Chris?
You need a Boeing.
A Boeing sound clip. Okay.
That
Yeah.
is-
For when we talk about boners.
when we talk about Viagra.
Yeah, we talk about Viagra.
Boing.
Bees don't even have dicks. It's a stinger.
Dan, any critiques, criticisms, constructive feedback?
Now you're doing a great job.
Thank you. All right. Fuck, I hit that one wrong all the time.
You should do that more often. It's funnier. Just hit the wrong one every time.
At this time, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, we're done.
You're making a mess. You either do it right or you don't do it.
I want to do it.
You're done. You are done.
Once again, we want to humbly thank our listeners and pay them ample gratitude for the patronage. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to have such a high-quality interactive show. So thank you, audience.
Yup.
I'd like to take this time to remind all of our listeners that we're spreading like a virus. The Good Faith Podcast is now officially on YouTube Live with video, as well as archived there, and also Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, RSS.com, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcasts, Listen Notes, iHeartRadio, and Patreon. On Patreon, we're working to build additional value for the multiple tiers of donors with special content, Super Chat priority, and VIP in-person meetings. We do value your attention, so thank you for quieting your TikTok brain for the last 3 hours. This is a reminder, if you feel you got any value from our show, it takes basically zero extra work to like and subscribe, and it'll move us closer to our goal of having thousands of subscribers, which will bump us up in the algorithm and expose us to more potential listeners. If you guys want to share us with more of your friends, we would be absolutely delighted to extend our outreach. The quickest way for us to broaden our exposure is for you listeners to each share us with one friend. We appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. Also, if you're worried that you're going to say something and people from your job are going to think differently of you, that is a valid concern. I have a solution for that. Create a alternate account with a different name, like an alias, if you will, and subscribe that to our channel. It'll be like a win-win. It'll give us an extra subscriber, and you will be able to say whatever it is that you really think. You'll be able to
How
share.
would their business know their YouTube account?
I mean,
I guess if your name or government
yeah,
name
a
is
lot-
your
a lot of-
YouTube,
a lot of people
but-
do that, like you're coming in as D-Rub,
Yeah.
which is not you.
Yeah.
But a lot of people,
Well, you can literally just change your name on your.
if you look here, we got Kelly Bulick, Demontre Jackson,
Yeah, it's true.
Ryan McMullen, Rick
Why did you
M,
shout out everyone's name?
Rich K. But almost nobody in here has an alias. All you guys should make an alias, guys. Come on. If you're interested in joining our movement, it's hashtag IRYOBYOAWMO. That means I respect you only because your opinion aligns with my own. Feel free to retweet the hashtag. Also, stay cognizant to treat people with identical worldviews to your own with dignity and respect. Then, if somebody's opinion deviates from yours in any way, our movement advocates for treating them like absolute shit. Remember, a civil level of respect is only earned by people who mirror your beliefs. Hashtag
You're you, Biamo.
if you live in the greater Philadelphia area and want to guest star on our show, want to go on a date with anybody on the show, have a sincere desire to move in with us, we're down a roommate, desperately need one, please reach out to us in an Instagram DM. My name is Christopher Bulick. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram there. The Patreon link's in the description, and all proceeds will go towards rent, food, electricity, new computer equipment to improve our general show quality, and Clark's medical expenses.
I open a savings account in your name. That way, 500 years later, it'll be worth billions. Billions.
Oh, I like money.
To all of our faithful audience,
So the audience are a bunch of hoes.
Yup.
we wish you a wonderful weekend and a happy and healthy lifestyle. To you, we will bid you goodbye. Let me find this. Long live Punjabi!
Oh, probably going to fucking James Bond mission right now.
It kind of reminds me of like the game shows where the audio or the video is still on, but they can't hear us when we're talking to each other.
Can you see how many viewers you have?
Yeah, right now one. Oops. All right, we